Okay, so as we had last left it off, your party currently split, pursuing allies to fight in their war against the king, had come across some hiccups in their potential allies. From the Team Desert, they were able to find the demon-touched Lamia, only to find a hunting party from the king had gotten there first. They elected to wait and see, moving into strike when they were weakened, and they did so to resounding success. However, the knight, Sir Philip Fell, was able to cut off a piece of the now deceased Lamia and was able to get to the mage, and they teleported away, leaving you guys to deal with the rampaging Cyclops, which wasn't too much difficult. And that was where we left off that particular party. Meanwhile, Korgrin, Otti, and Russ went to go pay the Drows a little visit, only to discover that in Ulara's absence, they weren't doing so well. And now their head priest was being forced to marry the surprisingly surviving Guam, the stone giant, a individual with less than stellar manners and even less than stellar hygiene. The priestess made an interesting proposal to Korgrin, in that if he could convince Moradin to wed their demonic priest Lolth, an alliance between the two factions could definitely have formed. To solidify this, Lolth wishes one of Moradin's priests to oversee the ceremony of marriage between herself and her betrothed Guam, who needs apparently his connections to his stone clan to form an alliance to regain some measure of their strength. Now, I present it to you guys. Which would you like to do first? Which team would like to go first?
Team Desert is still seething from last week, or this part of Team Desert is.
I was going to say I don't mind, and as we were on the map, we might as well do them first. But you've left that map now, so
yeah. No, just
my point is
do Team Desert. I feel so bad for Arri for being a puddle 3 sessions later still. So
you're still in the Underdark, so it's not going to change anytime soon.
Yeah, but in the meantime, we could do this and then skedaddle, and I can just coincidentally prepare Remove Curse for tomorrow, just having a bad feeling.
I'm still like, considering I'm a puddle.
Yeah, but I don't know it's a curse.
True. But yeah, I'm still going to be a puddle until for a little while, so it's fine.
So, focusing on Team Desert first. Over the course of the next 36 hours, unless you mean to teleport elsewhere, you proceed along the desert back to the Rangers' encampment, obviously to pick up Arri, whom you left there, and also to try and save any potential alliance with them, as it appears that the knight with their confirmed kill was able to get to them first. Upon arriving into the camp, you can see that there's certainly a little bit more activity. You can see people are equipping more armor. Well, they're forging more armor out of the leather skins that are available. They are sharpening their weapons on whetstones. Some of the more larger creatures, you can see that their mounts are being adjusted. Even some of them, especially the rhinos, you can see their armor is being curated and strapped to them. With Arri leading the way, you guys are able to make your way back into the center of the camp, up towards Dimity, who is currently in discussions with the other two leaders of factions there at the time. Tik-Tik, the unknown insectoid creature, and Sadaha, the guardian Naga. Dimity notices you guys approaching, and he waves over towards you, Arri.
Should we just go straight over? Is there any kind of protocol for returning second, but with the correct item?
I don't know. You can try and come over with me, but I think he's just calling me.
Okay, we can wait if you want to go speak to him. Remember, we were really nice and we all got along really well.
Yeah, Verity, you quickly rush along to find the individual who was holding on to Arri. I think it was Tik-Tik that was holding on to it for you, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
It was, yeah.
those people. I'm just going to go and grab her real quick and
No worries.
thinking of plan.
So Tik-Tik has got the gourd that contains Arri just strapped to what you assume to be an insectoid-like belt at the moment, which is sort of swinging there. He sees you coming and just goes whilst picking up the gourd and handing it to you. You have no idea what the hell you just said.
She's all in there, right?
Yeah, by the looks of it.
By the looks of it, don't say he drank her and then replaced her with another pot of water.
He might have spilled a couple of droplets.
Like it'll glow green, being happy around you again.
Yeah. Is it glowing?
So yeah, it glows green. You can see the water becoming a happy green colour.
Yay!
Okay, I'm gonna grab something to fasten it to my back, wrap it in a bunch of stuff, make sure it's really protected on my back, because I don't know what I'm gonna end up doing.
Okay. All right. So, Dimity acknowledges both Verity and Arri, and he says to you, Arri, well, sir. Welcome back. I trust that the journey was not too difficult for you.
We got the head.
Yes, I can see that large disgusting thing crawling behind you. Well done.
Does that mean we win? Because they're my friends. And the other people, they tried to kill me. They were really nasty. They tried to get the older to attack me, and they had a magician, and I'll fucking kill the magician.
Arri, let's slow down for a second.
Have you decided to go to war, Dimity?
Yesterday, the knight and his mage friend appeared with confirmed flesh of the kill.
But they had to get back. How is that fair? I don't have magic.
Arri, let me finish. They told us that they were able to enchant the Cyclops, go inside, and kill the Lamia, and then upon their exit, they were ambushed by you and the people who followed you.
Well, I didn't ambush them. I went in there. We went in there, and then they said to attack us. So then we attacked too, and I don't know if the Lamia was dead already, but it definitely got squished by a landslide, and the blue one is one who caused it.
Look me in the eye and tell me, who got the kill?
I don't know when the Lamia was dead. We got he tried to attack us, and there was a landslide.
Make a deception check.
Technically, Arri wouldn't know.
I generally thought it was alive as they were bringing it out. Was it actually dead when they were bringing it out?
It was dead when they were bringing it out, yeah.
My bad. I thought it was unconscious.
No, it was dead. They killed it.
I'll give it a go. It was not the best.
Dimity looks at you, Harriet, and he goes, Arri, I have known you for a short time, so no. You get very passionate about these things. To the detriment of veiling the truth. Who got the killing blow on the beast?
Why are you going with the people who have transport magic? Why are you going with the people that want to kill me? You asked for the head and we brought back the head.
The competition, the race, was to see who got the kill. The head was simply proof. Now, I am not accusing you of anything, but I simply wish for us to discuss this as friends. They brought the proof back. They told them that you ambushed them with a rock slide, and they just barely got away.
We didn't ambush them with a rock slide.
What happened then?
We went in behind them after sneaking around the Cyclops. He saw us, he tried to kill us, and then my blue friend back there tried to save me. So there was a landslide, but it was not an ambush. And I didn't know it was already dead.
You may call your friends over now.
I'll kind of turn around and just kind of call you both over.
I will approach relatively slowly. Not like dawdling, just like not bashing and being intimidating.
Yeah. As you approach, he eyes you up and down and says, I have discussed with your tour guide here of our fair and interesting land, and she tells me she does not know who got the final kill on the Lamia. So then I will ask you two. Did any of you get the finishing blow on the Lamia?
I honestly don't know.
Did you kill the Lamia with your knives or your bow?
I did not. But I do believe that my friend here killed it with a rock slide.
She turns towards you, Verity, and says, Did you kill the Lamia with a rock slide?
What's this dude's name again?
Pardon?
What's his character's name again?
Dimity.
Dimity. Right. Like, I have a kind of plan of stuff I want to say, but I don't know if I want to say them. I'll acknowledge them from the group, but I don't want to be told no either.
You trust in Verity.
Like, Rennas trusts you.
Oh, you shouldn't. Alright, I'm gonna be fair with you, Timothy. Did you know they had a mage with such magic on their side?
It is not, but it is not against the rules.
But isn't it interesting how the people with the ability to teleport there and back only just beat us there?
We were at a disadvantage for travel time, even with the guide that you so kindly provided us.
Well, you had so
I'm going to be honest here.
Mm-hmm.
I might go on a bit of a rant, so bear with me. I'm going to be honest. We didn't kill it. I don't think we did. It appeared dead when my landslide fell. But as we have mentioned, these people are dangerous, and we are trying to fight them. We tried to honor your agreement, believing that we had every capability to do it. But they obviously had an advantage when it comes to travel. Nothing, like, our intentions were good. We wanted to help you whilst getting you on our side. However, Dimity, if you are choosing to side with them, that will make you our enemy now.
Do not want you as an enemy.
This is a fair warning.
Dimity, they've sided with the UNT. Don't make me side with the UNT. You know my mama will go along with you.
I have also promised to protect Arri and her clan. And if you're a threat to them, I'm not afraid.
I understand that you just want what is best for the desert and what is best for your people here. But that is not the people that happen to be able to teleport when we can't. That is the only advantage they had. In combat, they could not stand against us. That's why they had to flee.
I actually very much believe that.
So, but they are indicative of their entire force. If you join them, you will be joining the losing side. I do not want to fight you. I do not want to hurt anyone here.
And I'll be honest, as giving the measure of you, I would not want to fight you either.
As I said, I'm not afraid.
I wouldn't expect you to be.
And just so you know, we've had connections with other people who've worked with them before, who were aligned with them to do horrible things, and then they were backstabbed and outskirted, cast from the center, cast from the sky.
From what Ariti, From what Ariti says about the UNT, that they have plagued her people for a long time. The UNT are working with these other people. We ran into them and they were trying to slaughter a dragon's babies. What, like how is that the side of people you would ever want to work with? They are monsters. They are causing the issues here. They will turn your desert into a wasteland full of demon summoning pits, and that will be the last you ever see of your people.
Rennas, make a persuasion roll.
Can he have advantage because I helped him?
No. This is for Rennas' skill check.
He said the right words, demon-infested wasteland.
It
wasn't a 25!
I would be lying if I said I had misgivings about trusting the king. He has known about the problems of the land for many years, and yet he has done nothing until it benefited him.
Understand, we also did not offer you aid, but in our defence we did not. We are very new here, we are still getting used to this, and our force is very new. Our aid will come. Our aid will help you, regardless of the outcome of this war. We will help you.
Tick, tick. What do you think?
I agree with him.
What does he say?
I don't know.
No,
but
please.
You've got the helmet of comprehend language.
No, but I wasn't wearing it.
Please tell me I don't understand a single word he says.
No, I'm not going to lie to him. I'm going to be good. I could have tried making something up there, but I imagine Tick Tick would have probably corrected me. So,
Sadaha will say, "If I may, ladies and gentlemen, Tick Tick here is saying that the desert is his home and he wishes to protect it. He does not wish to fight. He believes that there is a logical sense in siding with the people who know more about demons in order to get rid of demon infestations."
Their goal is not to get rid of demon infestations, it's to create more and create more demons. Our goal is to get rid of the demon infestations.
Tick Tick believes that by allying with the king, we will be able to gain access to that knowledge, their demonology, and figure out the way ourselves.
I imagine that when the king enslaves you all and turns you into demons, and yeah, your knowledge of demons will probably come up quite a bit.
I would ask you to calm yourself, and Sadaha casts a spell of calm emotions on you. And you just feel chilled out. You feel relaxed.
That feels strange.
Now, Dimity, may I? Of course, Sadaha believes. If you are quite okay with it, Sadaha is going to activate a magic that will have an influence over you.
Didn't he just do that? Calm emotions?
It will not harm you in any way. It is simply a method for us to determine fact from fiction.
Okie doke.
The giant green snake with a friendly face nods, smiles, and its eyes glow greenish. And a radius of greenish energy envelops over you all, as you know to be under the effect of Zone of Truth.
I do not try to resist. Because, I mean, hell, it's a wisdom save, so I couldn't if I wanted to.
Verity, do you wish to resist?
No.
Arrit, do you wish to resist?
No. Like I have nothing to hide. Sadaha knows me.
Technically, Arri, would you like to resist?
No. I don't think my consciousness extends that far, does it really?
No, I have to say, you're consciously aware to enough to feel emotions, therefore you're consciously aware enough to potentially lie as a puddle.
Lie as a puddle?
by changing colours, I'd say.
I'll just stay rainbow, it's fine. No. I imagine if Arri was there as an actual halfling, she almost definitely would try to resist, because she doesn't like this spell. But no, she's a puddle, so she's just going to be like, I'm a fucking puddle, and submit to it if it's a choice.
I wanted to resist for shits and giggles, but it'd be the one wisdom save I'd actually make, and then it would look really suspicious.
Yeah.
Okay. So first he turns towards you, Verity, and he says, "Do you know the way to cure this land of its demon infestations?"
Can we chime in, because this information has been made available?
Yeah, I suppose technically we kind of do.
Yeah, spawning pit.
I personally don't, but I know people who do.
Can you bring those
people
to us quickly?
Pardon?
Can you bring those people to us with relative quickness?
I can only try.
I believe our plan is to start looking for the spawning pit within probably next after we all meet up again. So, yes.
Well, then, I will have to say that's a bit of a pipe dream. The Rangers have been looking for this spawning pit for nigh on 30 years, and we have not located it.
I mean, with all due respect to the Rangers, how long have you been trying to kill that Lamia for?
6 months.
Well, that's 6 months you failed, but we accomplished in 3 days.
We're very good at finding things that want to kill us.
He turns towards you, Rennas. If you were to win the war, what plan of action would you undertake to ensure that our needs are met?
I am not a politician. I am not a leader.
Why are these questions reversed?
I would seek advice from you and your people and come together for an agreeable arrangement, whatever that would be. I would help out people to the best of my ability.
Are discussing terms with the next head of power. The next person.
And who will be the next head of power? Zaphas?
Oh, what's her name? The princess?
Aria?
Yeah, Princess Ariel is our current goal, I think.
At the moment, Princess Ariel Oh, wait, no, scratch that. At the moment, we're not at liberty to say to protect them. We have made it public that what's his face?
Zaphos,
that we are fighting under Zaphos' name. That is as much as I am willing to share in that matter. And I hope you would respect that these people wish to remain protected.
I do respect that. I am not trying to pry into secrets. I am just trying to separate.
We can help establish connection directly between you and the palace. We will have you ask for your needs directly, and we will make sure that you are listened to the best of our ability. We are also in good standing with the leaders of Meltokio.
Yes.
And the August monks. And they strive to do everything to protect those who need it.
Verity, please make a persuasion roll.
Okay. As good as Rennas, so very good.
He seems, throughout this entire conversation, Dimitri certainly, he's taken more on board what Rennas has said, but there's still an air of apprehension around what you're saying, Verity. And that was, you failed the DC by 1, unfortunately.
What the fuck, man?
DC was 22 on that one. He turns towards you, Arri, and he says, "Now, just please, Arri, tell me. Do you have anything against the Knight and the Mage? What did they do to you personally?"
They tried to kill me.
Who started the fight?
They did. We just walked in.
That is a lie.
It's
you
not,
guys
though.
Started the fight.
Well, no, we technically just walked in. Started the fight with the mage, but not with the knight.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking about I'm thinking about the knight, and I started the fight with the knight. I guess, yeah, like... Okay, ask me the question again, sorry. I will rephrase.
The question was... Fuck, I forgot what the fucking question was now.
Does she have anything personal against the Knight and the Mage?
Yeah, so... The Knight and the Mage. Do you have anything personal against them? What did they do to you?
Just to answer Zach a sec, I fought the knight first, and then when the knight ran away, I fought the ogre. Ogre Cyclops. What did they do to me?
What did they do to you to earn your ire?
When we followed them in, they shouted that I was a traitor and to kill me. I'm not a traitor. I'd never betray you.
Well, technically, by the laws of the land, if you wish to side with them over the king, you are technically a traitor.
But I'm loyal to you and to Mama.
I understand that. And I understand that the Lucid folk has their own way of doing it, but while they live inside of Windwood, they are subject to Windwood's laws. I know the laws of Windwood barely apply out here, for they barely have a presence out here, but there must be some semblance of civilization if we are to cure this land.
But you make the civilization, Dimitri.
I am simply one. I have to understand the needs of all. So, Arri, what do you think is the best course of action for you and your people? Is it to side with the king and maintain the status, and hopefully he will share his knowledge with us if we crush a revolution and a rebellion with superior numbers and superior fighters, or join in rebellion against him and potentially having this entire land destroyed anyway by a wrathful king.
Dimity, you are cruel to me, and you speak of things that I do not understand. The law of this land is your law. I side, you know, of my people's fight. This long fight that we've had the Yuan Ti who have not let us settle. Even now that we found you, they still try to stop us from settling.
We have joined you in that fight. We have offered shelter and aid and arrow and blood against the Yuan Ti.
And now you are saying you are going to fight alongside of them.
No. Now I am saying is that I made a promise to the king.
And the king is with the Yuan Ti.
The Yuan Ti are with the king.
Then you fight alongside them. And you fight against my friends. You fight against you fight with my enemy. You fight with those who want to kill us. Why do you fight with those who want to kill us? I thought we were your friends, Dimity.
You are my friend, Arri. Your mother is one of my most personal friends.
And you know my mother has gone off after the Yuan Ti, and now you want to side with them? How will my mother feel if she sees you on the field? On the other side.
I do not want to fight with the Yuan Ti. I want my land to be saved. And right now, I am not convinced that these people can do it. How will you convince me, Arri? What makes you so sure they can do it?
Because I trust in them.
Why?
Because since I've been around them, they have not lied to me. They have not ostracized me because I have scales.
And lack of discrimination is grounds for potentially winning a war and saving a diseased land. Is that correct?
You saw the fight in our head. You saw them fight that magic person with the horns and that disgusting man who scowled at me that came here. I do not know what they would do. I do not want to fight along them.
They are 6 people, 6 very powerful individuals.
And they say they have allies. They say they have allies. And the lizard folk have been a small amount of people against the world. We're still here. We're still fighting. You know as well as I do, Dimity. You know because you have the Rangers. You do not have to be big to be powerful. You just have to know what you're doing and have a righteous cause. And these people have a righteous cause. They came, and they're talking to us, and they know nothing of our plight, but they're willing to help us. You said yourself the king has known of this issue. This person who I have never met or never acknowledged has known that this land has been bad, and yet now that he wants something from us, he's saying he will fix it? If he wanted to fix it, he would have by now. This is extra land. I do not know how to rule, but I know that this land is barren, and not only the hardiest people can survive here. And that's why he wants us. And I do not think that he will save us. I think that he will condemn us. And that is why I go with these people, because out of the representatives of each side that have come here, yes, it's against discrimination, but these people have accepted me, and I know that they will use me as I'm needed in this war. Whereas I fear what will happen to me and my people if we side with the side that's gone with the Yuan Ti. That is enough of a description of how a person is for me. Dimity, please don't side with them.
Go ahead and make a persuasion roll at advantage.
-1, right?
Verity, can you apply guidance to her, just as a curiosity?
It's still 22.
You are guided.
No. Unfortunately, there are varying DCs per player. Yeah, I'll never give. I mean, Rennas, your fucking DCs are like usually 26 to fucking 32.
I don't think I've ever actually rolled above 30 on persuasion, which is only a 15 or higher, and I roll a lot of them, but I've never done it.
Yeah, like basically, if I ask you to make a persuasion roll of 25, like, wait, if I'm making a persuasion roll, I know the minimum you're going to roll is 25. So it's either you automatically win, or I have to up the DC for you. So
Yeah, that's fair. I expected as much.
Did I get guidance? How much is it?
D4.
Yay! I got a high one on my D4. Oh god, considering the max I can get is 19.
Not bad at all.
Oh, yeah. I miss Arri.
DC was 16.
Yes! Oh, I am so happy. Like, this is like the only character I have with a -1 in something.
Dimity just exhales very long. I do not wish to fight you, and I do not wish to see your people suffer. All gone through so much together. Sadaha and Tik Tik Tik, the Guardian Nagas and the 3 Queens, the Rangers and the Lizard Folk. Together we have formed a pact, an agreement to help each other survive the land. Not become its masters, but become its rightful citizens. And I will not be the man to break that pact. If you intend to tell your mother to side with these people, then there will not be war between you and I. I will not break this pact that has kept us safe for longer than many of us have been alive. I had already given my word to the king that I would fight for him, that the Rangers and their people would fight alongside them. History will forever name me as an oath-breaker, but you have changed my mind this day.
It is not a breaking of an oath to keep a previous oath intact. You've just said you made an oath to stay together as a bond. So they had no right to take that oath from you.
Like, as Rennas is saying this, Arri kind of rugby tackles Dimity and starts jumping around, like, really, really excited that he's not going to join the king. So, like, I was just saying that really, really serious. Dimity is, yeah.
Edit, please. Please. You are very dusty, and you have a little bit of, lamia blood on you.
I understand this has been a very difficult decision for you, Dimity, and I do appreciate the time you have taken to hear us out. I do genuinely believe you are making the correct choice, and we will do everything we can to help you and your people.
I'm glad I don't have to blow up your camp.
I'm glad that we do not have to fight on the field of battle. Truth be told, if we had walked away as enemies today, I would have said, I hope we don't find each other on the field of battle. It wouldn't affect my personal chances against you.
Mate, if you had turned us away, there would be no camp left here.
Bravado is overly good, but the moment that the violence would have participated, you understand that we are surrounded by a literal coalition of forces, right? I would advise against such
Dimity, I am not afraid.
Being afraid.
The literal worst has happened to me the other day, and it was on my own hands. Do you think you could do anything more threatening than that?
We are not going to be fighting with each other, but I'm just saying, if you're going to be leading this army, please do not throw our lives away as clearly as you would throw your own.
I don't.
That is a fair request.
And luckily, we're not the smartest ones here. We have an actual cleric who knows how to do shit. And a soldier knight person
But don't tell him we said that.
Amazingly intelligent.
We'll never hear the end of it.
Am I not like the one with the highest intelligence and I'm currently a freaking puddle?
Pretty cool as well.
But
And
a very
they're
intelligent
all
puddle.
better with being good people than we are.
I am a very intelligent puddle. You are correct.
We have a number of creatures and alliances within our ranks. It will take us at least a week for us to truly prepare to march out, but we shall be ready when you call for us. At present count, we will need to leave a battalion of my rangers behind to ensure the corruptions does not spread to critical levels. I hope you understand that.
That is
So I
perfectly reasonable.
I cannot give you everything, but I can dedicate roughly about 2,100 of my rangers to you. Add it. I believe your mother currently resides of the clan of 700, does she not?
About that, yeah.
I would assume so she would lend every available able-bodied soldier to us.
As long as they all come back from they went west. They should all come back though. It's just some snake people.
Yeah. I remember your mother telling me one time of the Isle of the Lizard Folk.
After this,
No. It was the Lizard Folk territories. Yes, much farther to the north, away beyond the desert, near the ocean. I believe maybe if you wish to get more lizard folk on side, perhaps you could pay a visit to them. I'm very certain.
write it down.
If they all fight half as well as Arri here, then yes, we would love to have them on side.
Well,
Miles.
added. I mean, Arri, you do know what he's talking of. Basically, farther to the north, nearer Resperton and the ocean, there is a section of land known as the Lizard Folk territories. There, the Lizard Folk king and queen reside over a sizable number of lizard folk themselves. I'm just trying to find the actual details here. Where is it? Yeah, so it's probably the largest population of able-bodied lizard folk in the world. That's presided over by King Grizkul and Queen Salasama.
Cool.
Danka.
First off, can I ask, do you guys have anything? Do you move your camp often?
Yes, we do.
How far do you usually go when you move your camp?
We generally have a wide area. We operate under a net-like function of where we move from section of territory to the next, usually encompassing 50 square miles before we move on to the next location. The longer we stay in a place, the less resources there are to cultivate. Usually we operate on a 3-yearly cycle. We leave an area alone for about 3 years, allowing the wildlife and the fauna to regrow and replenish before coming back.
So you're not going to be leaving here anytime soon?
We should be here for the better part of another month. Of course, if we march, then we shall be leaving this area anyway, so...
That's fine. I'm just going to sign something in the camp that's like unimportant. Like a stone or something.
There's an interesting shaped rock at the moment that looks like Korgrin's head.
No, just something small and handheld.
Yeah, it's like a small stone that looks like Korgrin's head.
And I'm just going to write Ranger Camp. And it's like, I'm going to need this for when I'm able to teleport. They'll be able to come to this location with the stone.
Ah, nice.
Okay, then.
Good for their names.
With Tick-Tick's colonies, I believe he can... If I can understand this correctly, I believe he has 1,000 free queen who can join us in this battle.
Have they agreed to join us, or is it Dimity's decision? Has he spoken for all of them, or have you only got Dimity on side?
No. Basically, Dimity is speaking for the collective forces.
Awesome.
Salada, at present, how many Guardian Nagas will join us in this endeavour? There are not many of us left, and those who do remain fight against the Bone Nagas and the Spirit ones as well. But I think I can muster up a sizable number of my fellows. I can probably dedicate about 170 of us to you.
Cool.
Any support will be appreciated.
We also have were-tigers that operate within our ranks.
Where?
If you can get over... Clever. Yes. If you can get over the fact that they are obviously cursed with lycanthropy, they are harmless. They do not wish to hurt anyone. And they manage their illness with pride and dignity, actually. We have about 100 were-tigers within our ranks. We can also have a number of assortments of creatures. We have our zebras and our camels, our elephants and our rhinos as we ride to battle. We have our panthers and our wolves, our tigers, our lions, our eagles and our lizards. We have our blink dogs as well as our vultures and hyenas. We can dedicate a sizable number of these creatures to your cause. There is also one creature who I personally will tend to the needs of, who will join you in this matter. And he brings his fingers together and whistles out a very interesting high-pitched whistle. That sort of echoes out into the air. About 30 seconds later of silence, you hear wind. And then overhead, the sun momentarily blocks out as you see a massive eagle fly overhead. It begins to circle around the area before landing on a plateau, probably about a mile or so away, but its size is just purely gargantuan.
He was one of them and we met you.
That is Feathers. He is my personal mount. You know this to be a rock.
I'm sure you strike a very imposing figure riding him into battle.
It is more of a case of he sees me as a pet and he enjoys my presence.
It's a symbiotic relationship then.
Yes. But we shall move out when needed. Okay.
Again, thank you for giving this matter as much consideration as you did.
Please do not make me regret it.
Certainly not.
Alright, well, if you'd like to draw your attention to the war assets, I've just copy-pasted what the Rangers bring to the table, starting with 2,100 Rangers all the way down to the 1 rock.
Awesome.
Oh.
Now that's an army.
Yeah.
I am quite happy with that.
I pity Jack's roll 20 for when the final battle takes place.
I've got a feeling that not all can be represented by an individual token. I could be wrong.
No. We'll be doing it a different way, but it's fine.
Yeah, I get the feeling they're going to be all over the place too, like the other war was.
Yeah.
There we go. And then if I do it like this. There we go. That's good. Just updating a token.
Me and Ellie were looking at the elephant riders, and we both just went, "Still only counts as one."
There we go. And with that, an alliance is agreed upon, hands are shook, and promises of bravery in battle are taken between the Guardians of the Forgotten and the Frontier Rangers.
Verity, get a teleportation circle drawn. Let's get the fuck out of here. Don't you want to go back and save your sister?
I know. It's just so much harder than it needed to be, and it's so hot.
It's not hot back home.
Oh.
Verity begrudgingly casts Magic Circle.
Don't begrudgingly do it, I just tiredly do it.
Yeah.
I'm glad to draw the circle. I'm just...
And get out, bringing a portion of the desert with you in your shoes.
Also, Arri, hold on. Arri, thank you for helping us.
Oh, thank you for coming here. Thank you for giving us another option as well. I look forward to fighting with you again.
And I'm just... If we bump into you again, maybe when we go and see the lizard folks up north, maybe.
I have to wait for my mother to return. She may send me then, but I do not know. Just know, I'm only so human because Dimity helped raise me. Not all lizard folk are like me.
That's fine. You're good enough for all of them.
I look forward to seeing you on the battlefield. Be safe. Stay strong.
I give Arri one of the unicorn hairs I have. Like, I braid it into like a little bracelet thing around her wrist.
It sparkles with a whiteness.
Kapesk.
Kapesk looks at that and looks to you, Arri, and then looks to Verity. And you've never seen a giant pink lizard scowl before? She's jelly as fuck.
Oh, sorry, Kapesk. I don't think one would fit around your wrist. I mean, you're stunning enough without one.
Kapesk poses.
Helpful.
I can't wait to tell Korgrin about
Can't wait to face Edgar with the posing mount.
Do you think I'd be able to polymorph into Kapesk at one point?
You've seen him now. Her.
What? Just so you could double pose?
Yes.
Pose together.
So when everyone's asking me like, "What the hell's a Kapesk?" I could be like, "It's this."
I mean, yeah, sure. Okay, so with that, with your sound goodbyes made, Verity, Rennas, and Puddle Arri leave the Frontier Rangers behind and return to Parfadellum. Meanwhile,
after
underground,
circle, I just place plant into it.
Guam stands before the crowd, adjusting his toga a little bit, making himself seem more pretty. He spits into his hands and rubs his bald head to make it shinier. Priestess Elle walks towards Guam. Beside him, she bows before him. and then turns to the expectant crowd who wait on her words. Fearless Ilharavellians, today we solidify our presence within the Underdark. A union most holy of blissful love between myself and the powerful stone giant, the noble Guam. Sorry. To oversee this happy arrangement, Love has decreed that the ceremony will be undertaken by a priest of Moradin and his chosen acolytes. And she turns and bows before you, Korgrin. And then she bows to you, Russ. And then she bows to you, Otti. Guam looks at all of you and waits for you to commence the ceremony of marriage between them.
Do you mind? Are you two okay? I've got some words prepared.
Oh, we're waiting on you.
Step forward.
Go ahead.
I will cast Thaumaturgy on myself, just to make sure my voice carries that much more.
Yeah. The half the crowd immediately starts crying, but that's because they now see you, and not because of the ceremony themselves.
I just, kind of there back and forth.
Oh, actually, could I cast a minor illusion that's actually kind of like I want to do like a cinema projector of Korgrin. I don't know if that's doable with minor illusion, but I'll try.
I mean, you can make a shadow puppet of him. That's fine.
Yeah, it's not. I want to just like a la concert in Wembley. Big.
Guam looks at him and goes, "Oh, little man makes a big shadow. How does that work then?"
Ladies and gentlemen, we are gathered here today to celebrate the wonderful union between two great individuals of these two wonderful peoples, Priestess Canadel and Guam, the stone giant.
Hi, everyone.
Now, as we all know, the Drow have suffered greatly at the hands of the Tarask that fell here not all that long ago. And through your hard work and determination, have you not only managed to survive, but you've managed to rebuild. But it will be with the help of Guam and the stone giants that the Drow of Ilharavel will grow and reach new heights. With unmatched strength and true giant intelligence, will you thrive.
Yeah, I like that part.
However, none of this would be possible without the wisdom and radiant beauty of the priestess Canardel. Now, gesture to her and, tip my head. Through her sacrifice and duty in leading her people, are we here today to celebrate such a wonderful marriage. Truly will all the stone giants be envious of Guam's wonderful bride, soon to be wife. He will have to fight off many potential suitors with such a devout and lovely wife at his side. Now, are there any words the lovely couple wish to exchange?
Guam looks at Canada and says, "You know what? For a little drow girl, you're not as ugly as my ass. And that's saying something."
Korgrin says nothing, but his eyes just bulge.
I am very happy that you did not kill me back when we first met. I'm very happy that you have treated me as a king, as royalty. I'm happy that you have made it official law that the name Crimlog is forever banned and hereby known as a swear word. I appreciate that. You know Grimlock was the name of his brother. He didn't like it. And as a noble representative of the Stone Giants, I will make sure that my brother, Laos, is fully supportive of this union and will send whatever rocks he can spare to protect you in your time of great need, or something like that. And if anyone ever looks at you wrong, I will sit on them. Priestess Canadel. You can see that tears are welling up in her eye, but they might be tears of sadness or disgust from his stench. She looks up at Guam and says, "Guam, you are very big. You are. You know how to say the right things, don't you? Please continue."
I love to hear that.
Truer and sweeter words could not have been spoken. May their bond ever be eternal in my light and in the Spider Queen's wedded embrace. You may now kiss the bride.
Alright, pause, everyone pause. What does kiss mean?
You. This is still through thaumaturgy, just as a heads up, so this will be cat.
Yeah.
So it's when you put your lips against someone else's lips, and generally it makes you feel nice. It's a sign of affection. You like them.
That just sounds unhygienic.
Feel free to embrace each other with a hug or a handshake if you wish.
You can just look at each other fondly. That works too.
Well, does only the little man spoke? Then is the right? Everyone, please excuse me. Continue with the music. Yeah, that's band over there. You keep playing. That's good. All right. Half-orc person, half-elf person. You got anything to say to us? This is my wedding day. You got to. Everyone should, say something or something. I guess.
I just turn to both of you. Well, good luck.
Canadel looks lividly angry at this. That the Guam wishes this to continue.
To make things brief, as I feel that most things that need to be said have already been said by the voice of Moradin himself, what more could you wish from the ceremony? I am delighted here to witness the union of the regal, the beautiful, the wonderful, the powerful Priestess Carnardel, and the strong, mighty, gigantic, massive, huge Guam.
That's me!
Such a union, both bringing your own strengths together to this union. Isn't that what marriage, in fact, is all about? I look forward to the future of this. Not just this beautiful day and the lives that you'll lead together, but the strength that this will give to your respective sides. That both sides will be stronger as one than they are as apart.
That's really, really pretty. I didn't even understand half the words, but I thought it was really pretty.
Thank you.
Turn to Otti.
I'll nudge Otti.
Canadel, taking the moment of silence, is like, "Well, I believe we have finished with the ceremony." And Guam just goes, No, she ain't spoken yet. I know, I'm excited too.
I'm gonna step down close to them and look at them both and just say, "May I?" and offer a hand each to them.
Oh, okay. He wraps his hand around yours and he holds it a little bit too tight, but you're a tough individual, so you're okay. She lazily places the tips of her fingers on your palm, like she just doesn't want to touch you.
So I will turn his hand over, so his hand's on top, and her hand I'll place on top. And I'll say, the strength as a unit and as individuals show great promise as a productive coalition. Love, commitment, honesty, and cooperation. All good descriptions of marriage and all qualities that I hope this couple can have and share. May they be forever happy, and may this last forever. Just take that away.
Oh. Wow. I didn't even know such words even existed, let alone the Half-Orc being able to say them. You're really smart.
I know I am.
You're almost as smart as I am.
Well.
If... Canadell just goes, if there is nothing more left to say, then, as blessed by the voice of Moradin and the Paragon of Justice and the Soul and Sword, I believe this ceremony must come to an end with our true love's kiss.
I'll turn thaumaturgy off and I'm like, do you need a boost, Canadell? Do you need a pickup?
I will not take such slander from a dwarf. No, it's okay. Guam, would you mind coming down to my level, please? Oh, yeah, of course, sure. Guam gets on his hands and knees, and his head is basically the size of Canadell's torso, effectively. And he looks away a little bit, like he looks a little flustered, a little red-faced a little bit. So I've never actually seen you this close before, Canadell. That's the first time you've actually used my name right. Oh. Yeah, it's just... Are drow supposed to be as pretty as you? No, I am an exception. Oh, well then I'm a lucky giant then, aren't I? Luckier than you know. She leans in and just quickly pecks him on the lips, and he just stands there wide eyes, not moving his lips or anything. Like, basically just like a dab of the lips, really. And it's like, ooh. Well, that feels weird. Yes. But we are now betrothed. We are now husband and wife, and our alliance between our peoples is now solidified. She rises and he rises, and they take each other's hands and they turn towards the crowd, who start clapping and cheering. After a few minutes of happiness, Canadell lets go of Guam's hand, who's just like enjoying the fact that people like him for once, and turns towards you guys, and she says, well, the deal has been met, and the ceremony has been completed. You have my priestesses, as is the will of love, until such time she deems it otherwise.
As long as that's after the war, fine. I do have a question for you, though. How extensive is this alliance between yourselves and the Stone Giants? By any chance, would we be able to get them on our side, given that we are kind of indirectly aligned?
We'll have to speak to Guan about that.
Fair enough.
He's the one who has the connection to them. Very well. I shall retire to my chambers. Guam, try not to party too hard on your wedding night. Yeah, sure. And Conadel and her various priestesses sort of link arm in arm, and they just kind of like angrily, regally stomp away, having to deal with the injustice of being married to a dim-witted stone giant.
To a man.
And that leaves Guam and the crowds who are just beginning celebrations and such. And Guam sits down with various kegs of ale and spider juice being brought to him as he just sort of glugs it down by the cask. Oh, that's real good stuff. You want any of this spider goo, Korgrin?
No, I have plenty in my bag, thank you, though. A whole cask full of the stuff. Very generous, though.
I'll step in and I'll take some, just because I think I can handle it. Like,
oh, here you go.
I'll just be like,
it's barely liquid.
Dwarves maybe aren't as strong as they say. I feel you and we appreciate the good things.
Oh yeah. We've got an understanding like that. Well, here you go. He passes you a cask, and looking inside, it's barely a liquid. It's more of a gelatin, really.
Yeah.
Do you consume it?
You know, I'll sort of go like, hey, and like cheers to him, and then I'll drink some, but I'll kind of like let my lips touch it. You know, I'm not taking like a big swig or anything. Just kind of.
Have you ever tasted something like the moment you brought it to your lips, you were instantly like, "That's real bad. I shouldn't." It's like drinking stinging nettles. Stinging nettles.
Rum.
Yeah, so like that kind of sensation. As soon as it touches your lips, you like your body instantly knows this is poisonous. Don't have this.
Yeah. I'll
Anyway.
Ooh, that's certainly got a kick to it. I won't take any more from you, since I need to be getting on. But thank you for the taste.
Check. Make
a deception?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretending that you drink some of it.
I did drink some of it.
You drank some of it? Well, make a Constitution saving throw then.
Oh, okay. Saving throw.
I thought you were just bringing it to your lips. That's all.
No, I was taking a small sip rather than
like when you have tea that's boiling hot and you do that.
Yeah.
And it barely goes in your mouth. I think that's kind of what Fiona was trying to describe.
Yeah. All right. So your tongue immediately goes numb, but you resist the poison effect.
That was lovely.
Oh, now I can understand him better. Well, why don't you speak like this normally? That's normal speak.
If it helps in the future, I could.
This guy was actually really clever. Why was he hiding it?
He didn't want to outshine you on your wedding day.
Oh, well, no one can really outshine me. And he spits in his hand and rubs his head again. Ding!
Now, before you indulge too much in your wedding festivities, I've got a question for you, Bob.
Oh, yeah.
He could fucking die from the spider juice. Who knows? So you've got this, what is it, your cousin or your brother?
He's my brother. He's my brother. He's my older brother.
Oh, okay. Do you think... What do you think of demons, Guam?
What are demons?
Imagine if the world was a person. Demons live inside the arsehole.
So they're shit.
They're shit, but they talk and they make bad deals with you and they try and kill you.
So they're bad shit.
Bad shit, yeah, really bad shit.
Well, I don't really like bad shit very much.
If you could kill bad shit, would you?
Well, bad shit's already dead, isn't it?
Imagine if it was alive. It was walking about.
I mean, you better be speaking to Vlaus about that. He's more well, no, never mind about that. No, yeah, but my brother is more creative about that sort of stuff.
Okay. Right, so you didn't like your brother, right?
Well, Grimlock, no, he's a dickhead.
Yeah, imagine he came back to life.
Oh, no, that ain't good.
That's what a demon is.
I know exactly what Grimlock would be like. It'd be like, why the hell are you doing this? I'm like, oh, well, I'm trying to make something of myself, because seeing as how our lair plan failed, and then all of a sudden the Drow found us when we were, super really good at hiding. It's almost as if the Drow knew exactly where to find us or something.
Yeah. So, would you kill Grimlock if he came back to life and was talking in your ear all like this?
I mean, truth be told, whilst I never really liked Grimlock, I'd never actually try to kill him. I wouldn't save him, but I wouldn't try to kill him. It'd be rude, wouldn't it?
Imagine if he wasn't your brother, though. Imagine that. Imagine if he wasn't your brother. He was just a dick. Okay, fair. What I'm trying to say is, do you want to join with us as an ally? And also, do you think your brother, your older brother, would be interesting in killing bad shit? Say yes.
Would you like to have an arm wrestle competition over there? And he points quite a ways away where there are not really many people.
I'd like to insight that.
Yeah, go right ahead.
Oh, I'm there. As soon as arm wrestling was mentioned, I'm like, yes, please.
Yeah, he's, for somebody who is so obnoxiously ignorant about things, he's suddenly trying to deceive you very badly. Or as in, he's not deceiving you, but he's certainly changing his tone and his body language to one of more nervousness.
Sure, Guam. Let's go arm wrestle over there. Lead the way.
All right. Yep. He stands up. All right, bye everyone. I'm just gonna go have an arm wrestle with the dwarf and win because I'm a big, strong man and I'm very powerful.
Just slap him on the thigh. Get a move on.
And he walks off.
Can't slap a man's thigh on his wedding day.
He goes over to a place where he just sort of looks up around. There are a couple of temporary tents around. He picks up the tent to confirm that there's no one in there before putting them back down. And he sits down. Shouldn't really go see my brother.
We should, or you should?
No one should.
Why should no one?
Because he'll ask you how you found him, and then you'd obviously tell him that Guam sent you, and then he'd be very angry because he don't like me.
Why doesn't he like you?
Because I'm not very traditional.
Elaborate.
Is there not really an alliance here? Has he just lied to Thingamybop?
I think so.
Well, my brother said that if I can't get along with the ordning and the tradition of things, then I might as well go out on my own with my dim-witted brother Grimlock. And I said, "You're a fucking idiot." And he said, "Right, well, that's a get out." And then, yeah.
So what weren't you what's normal for stone giants? What weren't you going to do? Why did he kick you out?
Well, stone giants, they like to create. They're very creative individuals. They like to build, fantastic pieces of art. They're very philosophical as well. They said that I wasn't like that and I should change. And I said, no, I'm a free individual. I am Guam and my name means mighty, I think. And mighty people, Guam people, they make their own way. And my brother, well, he's a very much he's a stickler for traditions and such. Follows something called the ordning, which is where all giants know exactly what place they're in and stuff. Well, apparently Grimlock and I didn't fit in the ordning, so they told us to go. But that doesn't. But we actually left of our own accord, so we weren't banished or anything. We just, we gave him the finger, shut on his doorstep.
Right. Did you literally shit on his doorstep, or?
Yeah, oh yeah, of course.
Of course. Can I history check? Do we know what the ordning is, or is that just the traditional kind of fire giant, frost giant, etc., or frost giant?
Go right ahead. Make a history check.
Bonk.
Yeah, the Ordering is the case system that all giants adhere to. You've heard something similar to this before, but the highest hill giant is always going to be lower than the lowliest stone giant, and that's not a sense that they pretty much all giants follow this, and it's just a way of life for them. They don't question it. It brings them a sense of peace of mind from every single layer, knowing exactly who they are, and the Ordering basically dictates what each giant is going to be capable of and what they should do within the society or the community that they live in.
Okay. Well, what if I told him that we just found him? We didn't say that Guam sent us.
I mean, that would be a thing, I guess, but they're pretty well hidden. You have to know where to look.
I'll kind of turn to Otti and Russ and just... I think we're pretty good at finding things that don't want to be found. Anyway.
Oh, well... I mean, if you want to go see him, that's fine. Well, my brother is known as the Stone Lord.
Pretty cool title.
Yeah. Well, he's got something of a, I don't know, a pact with the Fire Lord and what is it? Sorry, I'm just making sure I have the right information. Yeah, there's the Cloud Lord. No. Yeah, there's the Stone Lord, the Storm Lord, and the Fire Lord, and then they all sort of like work together a little.
So there's the Stone Lord, the Fire Lord, and the Storm Lord, correct?
The Stone Lord, which is my brother, the Fire Lord, who I don't know who that is, and the Storm Lord, who I don't know who that is.
Okay.
There was a Hill Lord, called Gonk, but we've not heard anything from him in a while.
Yeah, the bad people up above, the king, they melted his brain and turned him into just a hitting machine.
Oh.
Yeah, not good.
Pretty sure you've got his toenail still.
Oh yeah, I've got his toenail. It's a crystallized giant nail. Gonks.
Ugh. Oh.
But we've got his brother on side, so, his brother's working with us, and the rest of the hill giants.
He has a brother? Oh, okay.
Mm.
Well, if that happened to Gonk, you might want to tell Vlaus about that. That is actually quite the violation of the Ordering, as he will say.
Good to know.
To turn a giant's nature against himself, there's no deeper insult to a giant.
That's surprisingly deep.
It's why I was let go, because Vlaus said that, me and Krimlog, we were free spirits. We were idiots, but I don't know what he meant by that. But he said that we could go be who we are on our own terms. And it was like, if he had tried to sit us down and change us into being people who he wanted us to be, that would have been a violation of the Ordering. So he kind of just let us go, really.
I get it. Fair enough. Then yes, we would very much like to tell Vlaus about what's happened to Gonk and what the bad people are doing.
I mean, it goes all over my head, really, but yeah, he's quite a ways away. The Stone Lords, I mean, for a giant, it's probably a 5-day walk from here.
Okay. Which direction?
That way. And he points.
Can I?
Eastwards.
We're just gonna insight check the direction, just to make sure he actually knows where the fuck he's pointing.
Go right ahead.
It's whatever. I trust him. He knows.
I mean, Guam is always sure of himself.
Yeah. So what does your old home look like? Where is it? Is it in the mountain? Is it?
Oh, it's underground. It's in the Underdark, definitely. Well, there's a lot of stone carvings there. There's the madam as well. There's a big stone carving of Well, there was this lady a little while ago. Came from your end of the table, actually. You know, up above. Well, she was quite friendly with Flaus, actually, and many of my kin. Very creative individual. So they built a statue of her in her honour.
Was her name perchance?
It's Melody.
No, it's a stupid name.
Ballad.
That's a stupid name as well, but that sounds familiar.
Fair enough. So which way? That way?
Yeah, that way. And he is pointing westwards.
And just for the record, I'm guessing I could probably walk about 2 of his steps.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's about 7 days. Maybe 8.
Probably 10. If he's a 5 days or 10 days, I reckon double.
Okay.
Yeah, give or take.
As long as you don't faff.
Okay. Well, that's very good to know, Guam. Thank you.
All right, no problem.
Who wants to pretend they lost to an arm wrestle with Guam?
I'll give you an actual arm wrestle.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead and make a athletics check, please.
27.
Plus 12 to this. No, 19 from him.
Second time he's lost.
This time, like, he's giving you a much more of a challenge. However, you just like plant your feet into the ground. You just remember the power that channeled through you when you fought with Vahan, and as you eat him in the arm wrestle, you actually send an air pressure that knocks a hole in one of the tents. One of these days one of these days I won't be so kind and let you win.
Yeah, I'm sure, and I go and try and fix a tent. I feel awful. I've broken someone's home. I try and fix it.
Okay.
I'd like to have a word with Guam aside. Well, not in private necessarily, just.
What do you want?
So I'd like to speak to him in Giant, and I'd like to make sure that I slur my speech a little, but not too much. And so I'd like to think that this time I had my adventurer's gear, and I maybe grabbed a little string from a rope, from my hempen rope that I have. And what I want to do is I want to hand him something. And I'll go up to him and I'll be like, in Giant, Guam, I must say you are one of the most impressive, strongest people I've met so far. I would like to give you this as a wedding gift, and I will hand him what I have, which is Yaris's tooth, which is on a piece of string now. And I will say it's not much, but it's a tooth from a near ancient green dragon that we fought, a creature even larger than yourself. I think that you're as strong as he is, and maybe I think you're deserving of this. I hope that we're friends, and I hope that you'll consider joining us.
I don't want to kill you.
That's good. Much appreciated. But I hope that in the future we'll speak again, and that you'll remember us, that hopefully you'll think of us in a friendly way, and that's all I can hope for. Best wishes to you and your new bride.
Yeah, that sounds mighty. I mean, I mean, I'm super intelligent. I understood everything you just said, but thank you very much for the meal. And he starts chewing on the tooth.
Be a little... If you feel a bit dodgy after that, I wouldn't be surprised. But that was not my intention.
Well, it's got a bit of a tangy taste to it. Oh, this is nice. You can see his rock-hard stone teeth begin crunching up the dragon tooth a little. Oh, it's tough.
Enjoy.
Tough like a candy.
Yep. It's like teeth weren't made to fight other teeth.
Yeah, Guam, whilst he's a very simple creature, he likes you as much as he can like you, but you get the feeling he's probably a very poor representation of what stone giants are, and he isn't of himself just a fucking idiot.
Yeah, we never would have guessed. Thank you, Jack. We never guessed that he was just
to confirm it. Just to confirm it for the new girl. That's all.
Look. To be honest, we had I obtained a Yarrow's tooth, and I'm pretty sure I was told at the time it was worthless, and I was like, oh, what's this for? So I've just been dragging this around, and now I'm like, fuck it. So he can have a pretty wedding gift.
No, they're actually very valuable.
Very valuable, yeah.
To be fair, the amount of shit that's in the bag of holding, we could give him anything and lie to him about what it is, and he'll still take it.
True.
Yeah.
I could give him Gonk's fucking toe, and he'd be like, "Oh, thanks," and like pick his nose with it or something. I don't know.
Okay.
Well, we'll probably be off then.
All right then. All right. Well, if don't pay attention to what my wife says behind your back. You are all very non-killable people.
Thank you. I would say the same about you, but you already know that.
Yeah, I'm pretty non-killable. Anyway, you got one of them pretty picture things with all the squiggly lines on it. You get the feeling he's referencing a map.
Otti?
I think I do. I've got the...
You've got a lot of maps.
I've got a lot of maps.
Well, let me see your top side.
Yeah, I think I've got one because I got the map from that we're using as the pointer. So yeah, pull that out.
Yeah. All right. So we're here at the moment. Yeah. My brother and my clan, they live over here.
Oh. That's very close.
Homeland.
I say that as Zach, not as Korgrin.
So, I mean, I know how to get to there from there, but yeah. It's like, if you start from here...
Do you know a way from topside to down?
No, sorry.
Okay. No, that's fine. That's more than we were expecting. Thank you, Glom.
It's no problem at all. Well, you take care, alright? I'm going to get back to being a husband now. I assume that just means a lot of drinking and sitting around.
Do not forget, pretty things. Get her pretty things.
Pretty things. Well, I'm pretty, aren't I?
Apart from yourself, give her gifts of pretty things.
Well, compared to myself, all things are not very as pretty as me. So it's just be
okay.
Hey, you got the best thing in the world. Here's a shit replacement to distract you from me, who is so pretty.
Yep,
do it. That doesn't seem like a very good thing to do.
Do it. Prettily wrapped in lots of spiders' webs.
Ugh.
Find her a really big spider. She'll like that.
I'd rather eat it, but...
If you get a big spider, there's a chance you'll get smaller spiders that then you can eat them.
Ow.
Babies.
What?
Yeah, let's not go down that route, Korgrin.
When he just got married, he should probably know.
Where do babies
ask Carnadel. Ask Carnadel. Pivot on my heel, walk away.
Alright. Carly! Where do babies come from and where do you get and can you eat them? And he starts walking off.
Quickly now, quickly, pick up the pace. Says the slowest member of the party.
So, do you guys want to make your way topside? Or was there something else you wanted?
I'd like to roleplay as we walk back. I have some things I need to mention.
Yep.
So, just, Otti, just as a heads up, Arwis was very upset that we were coming back down here. So just as a kind of, so you know. But also, we were kind of talking about something rather particular. She's never actually brushed her own hair. She doesn't know what a brush is. So I don't know if that was something that you wanted to get for her, or kind of wear away some of the barriers that she's still got up. Just an evening of, I don't know. That's what girls do, right? They brush each other's hair, right?
And pillow fights in pajamas and stuff like that. Yeah.
I didn't mention anything like that, but carry on. I'm liking where this is going.
George, I expect the fan mark right now. Come on.
So I don't know. I felt like if anyone's going to be able to use this information, it's not going to be me. It's probably you. She feels close to you.
I'll
If only the hairdresser wasn't unconscious.
Gorilla AIDS.
It sounds stupid when you say it like that.
I'll definitely pop in and make sure that she's okay. How much did you traumatize her?
It was just the mere mention of coming back here, really, because she was the only way of us getting through to the teleportation circle. It clearly just brought up a lot of bad memories. It's trauma for her. So I didn't go into too much detail, but it didn't take much.
Okay, I'll see if Elle wants to do it as well. Then. I'm not very hairbrushy.
That's fair.
Or scalp.
I am.
Off.
No.
Russ, feel free.
Here's this man you've never met. Also, he's going to brush your hair.
Yeah, but you can also, speak Elvish to her and make her feel
I'm a charming man.
True.
I like to think.
Who's Rennas?
And a kind of favour. Do you mind if we linger for a minute by Ulara's body? Just wanted to have a few words. Is that okay?
Whose body? Sorry.
Ulara, the queen, the dead queen that we walked past as we.
Korgrin's ex-girlfriend.
Ex-dominatrix, I feel is more appropriate.
Yes.
I might need you to hold out the ring while I do it. I want to speak with Dad. I want to speak with Dad. I wanted to ask her a few questions. If that's okay.
Oh yeah, and I'll take the ring off my hand and hold it out.
Fair. So really, it's just a case of waiting until we get to her body, I guess.
Well, it doesn't take you too long. Eventually, you get to the site of where she ambushed you in this tight corridor. I wonder if I still have the map for it.
I'd like to confirm I don't walk all the way over there with my hand held out. I do take the ring off when I get there.
Just 5 minutes, 10 minutes of walking, just, are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? We get there when we get there! I'd be very curious if you still had the map.
Is it cavern? Just trying to... Well, so many damn maps. Cavern.
Are you going to reuse all the maps for the next games?
Yeah, no, I save all the maps, and then I just copy-paste them into new games. It's pretty good like that. I just have to change the tokens over, that's all.
Okay.
Here we go. So, excuse the old tokens.
Ah.
Where is it?
So that's a yes. The map is still there.
Yeah.
Oh no, they found me! Run away!
Damn you, miserable kids, and your stupid dog.
We don't talk about Rennas like that.
Yeah, he accidentally brought out Sherlock the dog as well as a wild magic surge.
And made Bellatrix buy accidentally because of the fucking incubus.
Oh yeah, I think I ignored her for like, a little while after this.
You did.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. Fury of a jealous Otti.
Bye bye. Yeah. So, the spiders have generally been fed upon as the meaty things. There are a few priestesses around that have been fed on. Ulara, even in death, the creatures around this area fear her. And aside from what remains of, the body after you finish with it, she has not been fed upon.
Okay.
So, never thought I'd be using this map again.
You're welcome.
I mean, I was pretty surprised when we saw our old tokens on there.
Yeah.
Okay. So, you go up to the body of Ularavel, and you cast Speak with Dead. I just need to read Speak with Dead.
I'll link it in the chat for you.
The corpse must still have a mouth. I believe you crushed her face in, didn't you?
I caved her skull in. I don't know if the mouth is still there.
She has a lower jaw.
Like no back of the head, just a face, and that's it.
She has a lolling tongue.
A lolth tongue? What?
A lolling tongue, like
she's made of lolth? Oh my god!
I'll say it works, but she'll speak with a lisp.
Oh, I bet she's gonna love that.
Okay. So you
It'll be like that scene in Emperor's New Groove when Isma's turned into a kitten and she's like, "Is that my voice?
Is that my voice? Oh well."
It's not bother.
A black mist emanates from Korgrin and starts a vortex around Ulara, and the body begins to lean upwards. And the spell has taken effect.
Shit, I didn't actually think it'd work. Ulara, do you still consider me an enemy? Ulara purrs.
Yes, and no.
If I were to return you to life, would you side with us against Arganeth and the human king?
Lara purrs.
I'm sorry.
On what I get out of it.
You get your life, and when you die,
you understand. You understand that the nature of this spell is that she cannot understand any new information. She cannot even comprehend that she's dead.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a corpse, animating the spirit it was in life. So it only knows what she knew in life.
Okay.
So you can't really bargain with her
Fair.
deceased copy of a spirit, basically.
Mm. Okay, that changes questions I was going to ask. With Lulth's blessing, would you join us?
Yeah.
Do you two have any questions? This is Ulara, by the way, Russ.
The only question I want to ask is, Korgrin, why the fuck are you doing this?
I wanted to know. I felt really bad for the Drow. They're in a pretty shit state, and well, this is their queen, and clearly they're not going to get any help from the actual stone giants because Guam's full of shite. She might be their only hope of being useful in the war and having a chance to rebuild afterwards. I know it's not a great reason, but I feel responsible for the state that they're in now. Not that they're a great people, but, you know, still played a hand in it.
I mean, she could have just stayed where she was, and then she didn't have to chase us down. We would have left her in peace to rule. Just saying.
You are right. You are right.
It was her own vainness that made her come out here. So.
True, but if we're willing, go on.
Feel free to ask this head what you want, but I just want to make sure that you're not always going to get the answers that you hope for.
No, you're right. It's just I feel like that if we're willing to make pacts and deals with devils and demons, an actual living drow is a bit more amicable than beings of the 9 hells. Is it 9 or 7?
9.
I thought so. I think 7 is from Diablo. From the 9 hells.
Yeah, it's the 7 layers of hell and the 9 hells.
That's it.
And I'm pretty sure that if I have my way, Arrabella would be in the fucking 10th. I saw the shit that she did to fucking Arwis. I tried to help her, trying to get out of this shit. I saw the slaves. No one deserves that. And I don't know. Just look down at her like, no.
I mean, she gave her word and she upheld it. She did free them. I know it was after the fact, but you're right. You're right. Any final questions or thoughts? I've kind of run out a little bit of juice since she can't really comprehend that she's dead.
If I may,
sure.
Ulara, how would you feel about sharing your reign with someone else if someone else was named king or queen?
Do you ask this question on his behalf, Korgrin?
Yes.
She says, "My power is my own. My position is my own."
Not fondly, then, I would say, Russ.
That's what I feared.
Fair enough.
I'll sort of say to Korgrin, are you not concerned that this might cause some turmoil within the Drow Kingdom?
Oh, I'm very, very incredibly concerned that this would be throwing a wasp nest into a beehive. But it turns out that they're not actually getting any support from the stone giants. like I say, so they're in no better position than before the, phony marriage that we kind of just graced upon them. They have no choice. I think even Ulara is aware that if Ulara was returned as Priestess Carnadel was, that if I so willed it, I could simply command the Drow to go to war. It would just be without the priestesses and without the people. If there's no one to believe in Lolth, then she is no god. They're bound by their own peoples.
Well, I'm not too sure how I feel about any of this, but I suppose you're more involved in this, and ultimately I trust your judgment. I just hope.
No, I'm not gonna, snap my fingers and bring her back. I just wanted to ask a few questions. That was all. It was playing on my mind as we were walking while we were down there, seeing the ruin and the rubble, and it was in its respect. It was It was an acceptable looking city for an underground place built by elves.
It wasn't the shithole it is now. It was still their homes.
Yes, thank you for putting it in a way that a dwarf never could.
You're fucking welcome.
But yes, no, I'll release my hold on Ulara's spirit and just kind of let her fade.
It just goes. The corpse just falls back into the position it was.
I have no further questions. Anything else would just be, poking the bear at that point. It would just be asking a question for the sake of asking a question. It was no point keeping her around for longer than necessary. Sorry, kind of a detour, sidetrack. Just something that played on my mind. That's all.
Sure. And with that, I believe, Korgrin, you would cast Word of Recall.
Correct.
And take yourselves home. So.
Sorry, we don't actually need to go to the teleportation circle. I can just do it wherever. So, just here. Yeah. I'll just do it here.
So.
I'm hoping we're away from the other drows. They're not just like, Korgrin, we love Korgrin on the way back.
Yeah. They. Okay. So. Around a couple of days of each other, you all find yourselves have returned to Parfadellum. I believe it would be Team Desert who will arrive later.
Yeah,
because we actually had 3 or 4 days of trekking through the desert. Yeah.
Sorry, Jack.
Yeah?
As we were travelling from the Lamia's lair back to the Rangers, I would have taken some time away from Rennas and Ariati to cast Identify on the ring I put on.
Oh, yes. Let me go
that old chat.
And a wild magic surge would have happened.
Oh, go a 4.
4 doesn't seem good.
All cursed items you're wearing lose their curse.
Yeah, I would have been more than 50 feet from anyone, so nothing really would have happened.
Number 4.
The True Strike cantrip one.
Yeah, so even though you were 50 feet away, for a brief moment in time, Arri and Rennas, you felt that anything you would have struck, you would have been focused on. Like, in that brief 6 seconds, you were hyper-focused on any possible target around you, and you came under the effect of True Strike for 1 round.
I'd have found a stone to kick if I felt like
that. Yeah. Anyways, so the doors open, Korgrin, Otti, and Russ, and you see Verity and Rennas come in, covered in dust and sand and dirt, carrying a sandy gourd.
Korgrin wipes the sleep out of his eyes. Just, you look like shit.
She's a puddle.
What took you so long? Who's a puddle? Where's Arri?
Did you just pick up a random puddle in the desert?
She's in the jar.
What, you mean that dirty sock you're holding?
You know,
Definitely a bottle, not a sock.
You know when you mentioned
Look!
puddle?
Look! I get a bowl, and I pour Arri into the bowl, and you can see that she is glowing colours of sorts. Like, what mood are you in right now, Arri?
Oh, probably going to be angry and bubbling.
Thank fuck, I was expecting a human slurry.
You know, when you said puddle, I didn't think you actually meant puddle.
It's ascending. Limited words. I would have been very literal.
I mean, it's Verity. Why would you not think puddle?
What else did I say?
And it could have been a metaphor. Perhaps she was feeling limp and tired and flat.
You might have brought back her corpse.
And the desert hermit. Yeah, we found the desert hermit guy. Turns out he knew our ancestor, and like I was like, oh yeah, you know this dude, and I turned into her, and then he just kind of like started to zone out and go like even more crazier. His name was Cave. He wants to be a cave.
Did you
At that, I'll turn pink.
Did you trigger his PTSD?
Yes! You left me alone with Rennas!
I mean, we were just having a nice friendly chat, and then but he reacted very weirdly. It was like he was obeying her, and he had like reverence for her while she looked like that. So.
Can we have
very strange.
one piece of random information at a time, please? Can we start
Arri
with
the puddle is the man in the cave. We've got the guys on side. Korgrin, can you fix Arri being a puddle?
Thanks, Rennas.
It was a lot. Sorry. Post-traumatic disorder.
That's actually quite good. Well done, Fiona.
Korgrin gets up, tucks his stool under the table, leaves.
Shuts the puddle here.
Shuts the door. Reopens the door, walks back in, sits back down. Right. Collected me thoughts now. Puddle. What? Why? Okay, hand her over.
I was turning Rennas into an eagle to get away from the desert snake.
This doesn't help.
Obviously.
Just give me the puddle.
I told you to get a hand with your fucking polymorph. What's
Arri
this?
was next to me, and then
I just
he
pull
was like,
Arri the puddle over in the bowl and just...
Quite a lot of sand in there.
I try and discern if it's a curse. I want to see what kind of thing is keeping Arri a puddle.
Make a Arcana check.
Oh no! Guidance. Oh no!
This is a
first.
Nice.
Ooh.
You don't know exactly what made Arrabella a puddle, but Verity's always displayed strange abilities that has something to do with the weave. If a variation of the weave started this most likely falls under the realms of a spell gone awry, or an intentional permanent effect, which usually comes under the realms of curses.
Right, okay, I lift the puddle up and we go outside. We follow me.
Okay.
Walking very carefully with
Don't spill her.
And we're just gonna sit out on the grass by there. I'm just gonna.
Okay. So you bring the bowl of Arri puddle
Right, I don't know how this is going to work. I just don't want don't want Arri to become a table or Arri to become a stool. I don't even really want her to become a bowl. So I'm kind of working with limited options here. Were there clothes? Did she drop her clothes?
I mean, everything she was carrying was, including the handy sending stone.
Which is why we couldn't tell you about it, because she had the sending stone and everything turned into a puddle. And I don't know. Rennas, do you think the bug man drank some of her? I think he drank some of her.
No, he seemed very friendly.
Like,
okay. Well, hopefully he didn't get any of the good bits.
Arri's fingers inside of him?
I can regrow fingers. I can regrow fingers. It's fine. Don't worry.
Well, maybe if Korgrin ends a curse, it doesn't matter how far away he is. So even if he did drink some of her, a little part of Arri is going to suddenly appear in his stomach, and that would be amazing. That would really
That's what I'm saying.
Not if it was her head.
Or in his
what if we resurrect Arri's headless body? Do we really want this?
Well, Korgrin can regrow arms, they can regrow heads.
Everyone close your eyes. I'll let you know when it's done.
I want to give Korgrin inspiration.
I do not close my eyes.
And I'm just sitting on the little balcony bit, just like watching legs, just like thing swinging. Like, oh god, this is gonna be so funny if it goes wrong.
I want to give Korgrin Bardi inspiration, and I'll be like RuPaul and be like, and don't fuck it up.
Why would you say that? Thank you. I feel inspired. Just like give Arri the puddle space. We're not occupying the same space as Arri the puddle, and I will just I don't know, Verity, come here. Just stand next to your sister. And I will just chuck a remove curse into the fucking bowl.
Okay. So,
as in the contents of the bowl. I'm not removing a curse from the bowl.
As you cast remove curse, the puddle begins bubbling. And it breaks out from the bowl. So the bowl itself shatters. And the puddle begins forming into a humanoid shape. Murky and dirty, and eventually it just splashes outwards, and Arrabella is fully formed before you.
Yay!
Arri, you are back to normal. You have all your equipment. You are fine. You cough, and the big clump of sand just comes out of you.
Oh, that's horrible.
I am like, for the first time in ages, I like dive onto her, probably knocking her over because I'm a 5 foot now.
Yep.
And just like,
so you get really good with your health while you were chilling out as a puddle, you know.
Like, I'm just there on the floor, just kind of patting Verity's head. It's like, it wasn't my choice to be a puddle, but from what I heard, you did perfectly fine without me, surprisingly.
I compose myself and step away really awkwardly, like, thinking it.
I mean, honestly, they were gone a while, so I feel you were perhaps one of the better timekeepers of the party.
Oh, I know.
Relative to these other two.
Yeah. All I heard for about 4 days was... That's it. No words, just over and over and over. I think I almost started understanding them. They almost started to sound like words.
We can take you back there and you can stay with him again.
No.
No? Okay.
But
I didn't want to accidentally break you and lose you in the desert.
No, I get that, and that's fine. I was just hoping that he'd take me around camp, not just talk to me whenever he was in his tent.
I thought I was crazy.
You're lucky she turned into something you were able to actually collect and not like fucking steam.
I mean, she did drop her into the sand. We were quite lucky to get it. Verity was definitely on the ball, dived straight down, quicker than me even, and just scooped it all into a bottle straight away.
Just in the future, maybe don't do that.
Great tip.
Just kind of give Russ a funny look. I need a drink. Water rather than alcohol, surprisingly, because I just coughed up a lot of sand.
I'll hand you my water sack.
Oh, that's the point. I have a freaking endless thing of ale.
Yes.
I will have some of
your
your
would have been very
water,
helpful.
Well,
Right.
Walan is already rushing towards you, having heard the cue to bring you a small little platter, one with a jug of water and one with a jug of ale. Here you are!
I scowl at him and take the water off Russ. I still don't like Wanlin.
I will grab the ale because, I mean, I'm not fussy. Thank you.
All right, well, let me know if there's anything more you want.
Why is he not gone yet? This is mad. Well, how did you guys go? You went to see your family? Did you see people?
Wait, any other curses, any other puddles, any other things that I need to deal with right now? Or so help me by Moradin's bushy beard, I'll smite you.
Sorry, did I learn anything about the ring?
About what, sorry?
Did I learn about anything about the ring?
The ring?
About the rain?
Ring.
The ring.
Oh,
She's
the
got
ring.
cursed
Oh,
ring
yes.
in
With the ring itself, it is a cursed ring that gives off an aura of magical presence as a means to attract magic users. It seems that the entire intention of putting the ring on is to saw their finger off. However, you were able to resist it.
Oh, shit.
However, it is now embedded.
I got this magic user's track.
Where did you find that?
That looks infected.
Blavia's lair.
Hand, please. Medicine check.
Ed?
Guidance. Because medicine, again, cleric, you'd think would be good. No. Oh, exhibit A.
Don't you have advantage on medicine checks? But no, it's religion checks.
It's religion checks. Yeah.
Can I do a Arcana check?
Oh, I'll use the inspiration. What does your inspiration count as?
D10. I don't know why I held up two fingers. I was just
so 14. A 14.
You suspect that it's probably really lucky that this ring is so old. Had it been in its prime, you don't think our Verity would have been able to resist having her finger sawn off.
Okay. Is this also cursed, or is this something else? This looks cursed.
It is cursed.
Usually I would check it out before I put it on, but I had an impulse to put it on. So I'm going to say...
Remove
bad juju.
With that, the magical aura around it fades. Mechanically, it's still lodged in her finger.
Oh. Korgrin, chop her finger off, take the ring off, and then regrow her finger.
I'm not regrowing a finger over a ring. That is far too much diamond.
She has 9 other fingers.
It does.
I start gnawing on my finger like a dog.
It does take you. It does take you a few minutes, Verity. But now that you know the curse is removed, you're able to yank the finger off. Part of the blade's still stuck in your finger. Blood sort of dripping down. You slowly take it out like fawns or
like shrapnel, like shitty shrapnel.
Shrapnel or splinters. Like, you know how you try and get a splinter out of your finger, but it's much bigger. So you're like, ow, ow, ow. Take a couple of points of piercing damage at doing it, but you they only get the ring off.
Well, that was some useless loot.
Did you just throw the cursed ring?
Yes.
You removed the curse
anymore. You fixed it.
You removed the curse, so it's not cursed anymore, right?
No, I think removing the curse from an object that's attuned to, that's sunk on a person means that you remove the kind of bond between the person and the object, but doesn't remove the curse from the object, I think.
Usually, yeah.
Yeah.
Do I have to put it in a box? Where's the ring gone?
We're going to melt it down. It's going to be melted down, and it's never going to bother anyone ever again. It's not going to bother me ever again.
Are we going to take it to a giant mountain with an eyeball guarding it to melt it?
No!
Or should we give it to a couple of
I think that would take about 3 films.
You guys
One of the guards
some
on top
giant
of the
eagles
walls
this
calls
time,
out towards
so-
you, Korgrin, and he says, "Excuse me, if you're handing out curses, I've got this. If you're handing out getting rid of stuff, I got this really bad thing on like a boil on my ass. If you mind having a look at it."
You need to see a medical professional,
Your
not
arse
me.
or your arm?
I'll pop it with a dagger.
I gotta get back to work, and he continues to patrol.
Best of luck.
Don't sit on your ass.
Right. Anyone else? That's 2. We're 2 for 2. Verity, are you just cursed in general? Should I just grab you by
My
the
existence
temple
is a curse? Yes.
and just...
I've had diadems explode on my face and kill me and friends. I evaporated my sister.
Mm.
I found a ring.
Mm.
That was cursed.
Verity, I think we should write a book. What's gonna...
How not to adventure.
I'm thinking we make notes of what you're doing and try and have some information down in case we find someone. Actually, I wonder if
Are you trying to therapy me?
No. I'm trying to work out what is wrong with you.
The natural disaster that is Verity, the chaotic storm.
I mean,
To be honest, that sounds just like my therapist.
Twice.
Mm.
But a unicorn once.
They don't call her the Weave Breaker for nothing.
Yeah, I think we need to make notes of what's going on with your head at the moment to try and make sense of this weave breakiness.
So nothing else? We're all okay.
Yeah.
And how do you feel about that, Verity?
How does that make you feel?
Comfortable answering this question. Do we know anything about that halfling that was finding?
I was just about to ask if anyone's gone and talked to my kids to see if they found him.
Do you have children, or...?
You know I have children.
I know.
What? I don't.
They're
You
not
want to come
actual.
meet them?
They're not.
No.
They're not actually her kids. Don't worry. She pulled them off the street and encouraged them to do crime.
They don't do crime.
I mean,
That
they were
sounds-
doing crime
that sounds
on the
just
street,
like-
to be fair. We met them when they tried to rob us.
Yeah,
That sounds
and
just like the kids in Parfidel I was teaching knife tricks to.
What?
Are you Finnegan?
I go inside and just walk away from this mess.
One of them called. One of
You
them
see
called Oliver?
Wanlon. You see Wanlon on the other side of the door. She goes, "Anything else you need?"
I'm
Yes,
gonna go
one-
see my kids. Sure.
I'll go see our kids as well.
Okay.
What have I done?
I was invited. I'll go.
Your best.
All right. So
My best.
Arra-
Yeah, you're fucking right there.
Arrabella and Russ, you head off into the centre of Parfidellum to find your children.
Just there, like, kind of stretching non-stop because I can now.
So you find them. They're currently playing with some marbles. A couple of adults are like looking over them, just kind of enjoying. This is set the fact that children are enjoying themselves.
Hey kids, here's a knife.
I'll just kind of say to myself, it's nice to see them being kids. That's the first time I've seen that since I met them. So are these the ones you taught knife tricks to?
Some
look
of
like
them,
it.
yes.
Were they any good?
Not really.
It was mixed. I feel they have much to learn, but they did well with what I gave them.
As long as you taught them properly, I'm sure they'll all improve. Let's go see if they found the halfling.
So you have a chat with the kids. They're quite excited to see you. But they regret to report that they could not find the halfling. As far as they're concerned, or could tell, he's not in Parfidellum anymore.
Well, I'll thank them all for checking anyway, and I'll just make sure they're all okay, really. Make sure they're all fed, make sure they're all happy, and I don't know, play like a weird game with them that kids in Parvadellen would enjoy. I don't understand kids in like IRL, so.
Ooh, I have as my background's a soldier, I have a dice set, so we could teach them dice if you want.
Oh, yeah, we could teach them dice. I've got 3 Dragons anti-set, so we could teach them that too, which I think is more like D&D chess, isn't it?
Yeah, well, they'll happily play with you in that regard. One of the kids is more appropriate. He has a natural shine towards the anti-chess set. He understands the rules like pretty much straight away. And after playing a couple of games with him, somehow he beats you. And it's like, how did I do that? Cool.
You got promise. I'm good with this set. Can you do me a favour while I'm out and going around places?
Yeah, sure.
Can you look after this set for me? See if you can teach the other kids how to do it too.
Okay. I mean, I barely understand the rules, but sure, okay.
No, it helps improve forward thinking, and you're all extremely clever, so I imagine under your tutelage they'll definitely all pick it up very quick.
Oh, well, thank you. And he takes a set with an awed eyesight, incredulous that someone has given him something so precious. And he walks away almost as if he's holding like a crystal Chinese vase, like very carefully, like he's going to drop it and break it or something like that.
Well, I guess they couldn't find him. Shall we go tell the others? He doesn't seem to be here anymore, or he's disappeared.
Sure. And I'd like to look at the kids and give them a wink and kind of like twirl my knife impressively.
Some of the kids that weren't very good with the knife run away. Ah!
All right.
Oh no. Okay. Not everyone's good with weapons. Maybe
they usually like me a bit more than that. Sorry.
It's fine. They're good kids.
Okay, so you make your way back to the base, and after refreshing yourselves, unwinding, you all get called to the war room by Loic to sit down and discuss what you have been able to achieve and what the next steps are.
So I guess we'd probably have both teams exchange what they experienced, with the desert team talking about the tippers and the demon spawn pit and the luckstone and all that kind of urgency, and the rest of us talking about, I guess, Reichstag and Blitwing, and that we need to do that. So I think those are the 2 most urgent ones, right?
Reichstag wasn't urgent. It was just, if you want to go, I can take you. Obviously, we got the so relay the demands of the dwarves to the other team and to Loic as well. The dwarves want reparations. They want the capital's assistance of whoever takes over to fight the Dwagar, which obviously Korgrin will just fully support. Like, that sounds completely reasonable. Two blights in one, kind of arm swishing. About the Drow, about the Stone Lord, also about Zathras. Him and his new tentacled overlord.
Oh yeah, that whole thing.
Feel free to discuss whatever topics you want in role play. If you want to just gloss over it all, it's up to you guys. So.
Yeah, sure. Shall we? I think that we'd probably ask. I'll be like, so why were you guys gone for so long? Like, what were you up to? What happened? Why were you delayed? You said you'd be back 2 days ago at least.
There was a lot of walking and a lot of desert and a lot of heat. And
weren't you just at the tippers?
Well, we thought while we were there, we'd pop out and we'd find the Frontier Rangers, because the Tippers gave us a job to find something the Frontier Rangers might have been able to help us with. So we thought, let's go speak to them while we're here. And then they said, well, if you want our help, you're going to have to go kill this Lamia thing. So we walked for like 3 days to this bastard Lamia thing. And then the teleporting Kingsmen just teleported in, killed him, and teleported out, the fucking bastards. We walked for 3 bastard days to get there and 3 days back. Have you ever tried walking in the desert? It's hot, miserable, sandy. And our everlasting jug of water was stuck inside a puddle of water. How the fuck does that even work? Magic is so backwards.
So you're saying the kings weren't on our tracks then?
Well, yes, they were definitely up there. We very nearly lost the Frontier Rangers to them, but I think we managed to convince them that they were much better off with us than with the Kingsmen. The fact that the Kingsmen had been siding with like the UNT when they who were already known to the Frontier Rangers. Like, these things helped us. But yes, they're very keen to sort their desert out. It's full of demons at the moment, so they're trying to find a demon spawn.
We also found out about the lizard folk north from there. We were partnered with one in our fight, Ariati. Yes, I know the irony in the name. And, yeah, they could be useful. She was strong. She had a really cool friend, Kapesk.
And what did you learn from the Tippers then? I thought that was your main. Was Timothy Tipper on our side? Wait,
well,
do they know his name?
Timothy Tipper was pretty much on Timothy Tipper's side. So he agreed that he would help us, but if in return we have to find him a luckstone, which apparently is in the same place as the demon spawning pits. Which, I mean, we kind of want to find the spawning pits anyway to put them out of action. So finding a luckstone while we're there doesn't sound like too much effort.
But we don't know where it is.
Well, I mean, that's step one, obviously, but there's clever people that research stuff that'll find that.
Okay.
I just shoot things. But no, so, like, if we can find this and give it back to Timothy, give it to Timothy Tipper, he will help us and pretty much give us all of the Tippers, which is a sizable little army.
Okay.
There's also just a reminder that he also offers to sell you information to find and locate other factions.
Oh, he did indeed. We have a big list of people that he is aware of that we can buy for, is it 3,000 a tip, or is it 5,000 a tip?
2,000.
Was it 2,000?
Because it worked out more if you bought them all separately, but altogether it was 50,000 to buy everything, and it worked out cheaper.
Right. Okie doke. So some of them I think we already know about. Like some of the names matched up, but there was definitely some new ones on there. So this is the list of information he gave us, and it's in the chat because I obviously don't actually have it on me. So feel free to have a look through there, and we can see who we think would be a good match.
We'll probably have to consider which one of them is kind of higher priority, higher numbers, higher power, and which of those to just discard, because they'll likely end up in the king's hands anyway.
Yeah, it seems like we were very close to lose. Sorry, Arian.
Can this information be trusted? Is this legitimate information, or is this just something he's pulled out of his arse?
I mean, he gave me no reason to distrust him, apart from, being the head of the criminal syndicate of the world.
I look at Arri. No shit, that's not good.
Before I continue, did I tell you that? Did I give you a full list of everything that he has, or did I just hint at what he had?
No, you gave us a list somewhere.
It's in the pinned messages.
Oh, right. Does that include the artifacts as well?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did he give any detail on the artifacts, or is it just, here's something called the Mummy Focus? Don't know. Yeah, I can tell you where it is.
He's very big on not giving details until he's given money. He's it's almost like the head of the Tippers is quite money orientated. I mean, honestly, I love a good loot, and it made me quite sad. Is that what the Tippers has become? We used to mean something.
Funny that.
The man's an ass. I don't trust him as far as I can throw him, but his information on the Frontier Rangers was good. So that only leads me to believe that the other information he has will be good. I just don't know. Simba. I just don't know whether, we can give him this luckstone if we find it. Ooh. I didn't trust his answer. He didn't He's hard to read, and the last person we dealt with that was hard to read. Yeah. Oh, have you guys mentioned
on this list? Sorry.
I was just gonna say, have you noticed? Have you mentioned that he gave us information about him? Talion.
Did he?
No.
Yeah.
No,
so Timothy gave us some information about Talion. He again for a price. I believe he was being truthful. I will admit, though, I didn't fully check. We found out that he grew up in the capital, and he was an upstanding citizen by all accounts. Actually admired our ancestors until they killed the king, and killed his parents. So, just to give you guys a bit more history on that, and I would relate everything that Timothy said because it's been within a month, but like you guys were in the episode, so.
I just noticed on the list of people he gave us a Stormstone and Firelords, which obviously that'll be the giants that you were dealing with before.
Mm-hmm. Well, fair enough.
Do we have any way of finding the people that Timothy Tipper suggested without necessarily paying the gold he's asking for or trusting?
Well, I mean, some of them, yes. So there's the Myconid colony, and I'm sure we saw one of them where we were underground. But I've no idea if we'll ever be going back to the Drow place again. I say not. I don't think I know that that's where you've just been.
Isn't that where we've just been?
Yes.
It was a different direction, and it was elsewhere in the Underdark.
It was just while we were there the first time we heard about the little mushroom people.
Okay.
Well,
the lizard folk territory's on there as well.
At this point, the Loic will speak up and says, "Well, if you give me a few days, I'll see if I can find any faster routes to the place. I mean, if we have a rough idea of where to look, I mean, we can see if there's any entrances into the Underdark."
Well, you have access to the teleportation circle that my grandfather made, so you can start there.
Yeah, but the way he was saying is it was a 5-day for a giant walk from that teleportation circle.
I know. Oh, I know. I'm just saying, but for the Myconid colony and the lords, then that's somewhere you can start, somewhere that you know you can trust, etc.
And the lizard folk was about as far north as you can go. So, if you've got any knowledge of any teleportation circles far north, they could be helpful.
I can certainly find out.
Useful after all, Loic.
I mean, I have people spreading out. I've got some people as far as some of the neighbouring countries. I got a couple of mages who are hopscotching around. Getting to places just to try and find out as much information as possible.
Wow, you're doing well.
I just want to bring up the matter of somewhat urgency of if we want the dwarves on side, we need to deal with the army that's outside the door. And you yourself, Loic, said that it would probably not be too long before the army attacked.
Well, if the frontier's on side now, the rangers are on side, we could ask them to go attack the knights from behind. If they're the closest forces we have in the region.
They said they'd be ready to move within a week, I think they said. So it's not quick, but yes. I mean, nothing in war is actually as quick as you'd like.
The only other thing
who knows teleport, I have something from there. We can get there super quickly.
The only other thing I can possibly think of is to go speak with the Druid clans, or maybe the Centaur clans, to see if they can get there even faster.
I mean, the more we get involved, presumably the less casualties there are, no?
Also, I would prefer not to go back to the Rangers until we've helped sort out that whole pit thing.
You feel like you want to make demands before you fulfill your end?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Timothy also said that the Frontier Collective up there, the main town, that basically for what they'd want for what they would want in return for their support is for us to find the demon spawning pits, which that's kind of a two birds with one stone. We find the stone, we get Timothy Tipper and the Frontier Collection on side, so that's another good one to push up the list, I feel.
Did
we've got lots of
get
priorities.
a circle for the Frontier Collective? I can't remember. Because I think we got a couple, but I can't remember where to. Yeah.
You have got a circle. Loic will say, well, as it turns out, I know that the territories are kind of in a bit of a disarray at the moment. The Frontier Collective, well, they're in a bit of state of political lockdown, really. I know
always with the politics.
Well, that's the thing. I think I've heard skirmishes of fighting from within the halls of the Frontier Palace itself.
Now you're talking.
Did some twat of a half elf decide to kill a lord?
Hopefully, most of the lords deserve to die.
Hope that wasn't me.
I don't know fully what's going on over there, but apparently there seems to be some kind of divide between royalist and successionist people. However, I know for a fact that the king is not moving on their territories to secure them just yet. After what happened with Mount Tokyo, he doesn't trust them. I think he intends to scare the territories back into land by getting as many of these other factions as possible. But I don't know who he's been able to contact and who he's got on side so far. I'm still working on that.
We're pretty sure that the Dwagar are on the king's side from what Vizier Regalfist has told us.
Well, that's no good.
1 second. Who's friends with the head divinator?
Headest one.
I guess me.
Would you be able to take this list of people that the Tippers gave us and give it to him and see if he can see anything about them, like find their locations using divination magic?
That is something that the king would do, and I'll love it.
I could certainly try. I think his cat is more friendly with me, but I think out of most other people, unless you want to ask Ophelia, I think he's friendly with Ophelia.
She's more protection magic.
Oh no, as in ask Ophelia to ask Estuan, because I think one of the main reasons I convinced Estuan to join us is because you convinced Ophelia to join us.
Correct.
I know that Estuan's been hanging out in the woods just outside the keep recently.
Yeah, I figured that would be the best place for him. He seems like a quiet man.
Why don't we try and speak to... Sorry, go on.
Go on, Otti.
Why don't we try and have a sit-down conversation with, Korgrin, all the heads, and see what they can bring to the table? Because at the moment, we haven't, apart from fireballs.
We need to outsource more.
Yeah, we're doing a lot by ourselves, and they're just sitting around. I don't want to say having the time of their lives, having, fucking cocktails.
They're waiting on us.
Exactly. If we can try and get them to help, they might be able to give us more information or something.
I might be able to convince Ophelia to get rid of that frickin' satyr as well.
That's not gonna work.
I just hate the fake happy. It's grating.
What time is it?
It's coming close to evening now.
Should we ask for a meeting in the morning?
Sure.
And then we can meet through the Dwarven thing. Because that feels like it should be the next thing we do.
I was going to say, and unfortunately, I think that one's quite time sensitive. I hate to be the one to kind of dictate. It just seems that things are kind of time sensitive around me, I guess. I know we want to go to the frontier, but I don't really want to sit waiting about on my father any longer. And I know that Travok is still alive, probably also in Vorod. I think he would be an asset too.
The faster we can get the dwarves on the side, the longer time we have for them to help us making armor and stuff.
Exactly, and not just that, but presumably some kind of underground network that they would have access to.
Korgrin, what about our mole? Have you heard anything from her recently?
Well, he knows about the first scry, about the meeting, correct?
Yep.
There was an instance where we were in Philly Durzan, and it was a rather desperate plea from Arri that I needed to scry on her. I did. She went to speak with Goliath and kind of feigned being a prissy little princess. But she's very much of the mindset that Goliath needs to be taken out before any real big fighting goes on, because he's kind of
a good idea.
He's itching. He's jumping at the bit to get his jaws around something.
I have absolutely no idea how to even touch him if he's holed up inside the capital.
You know who I would think would have a great time fighting a big dead dragon?
Sane. Are you going to try and plot Sane against Goliath?
Maybe.
Sane would die.
I mean, not him alone. Obviously, we'd ask him to get a team together. We would be there as well, but he could start organizing an assault and a plan to get him out. And it would distract him from trying to blow you up at every instant, Korgrin.
Goliath needs something big. He doesn't care about little fights. He doesn't care about little
we have
brawls. He wants to get into bloody conflict and strew the rivers red.
Well, dragons are very territorial, right?
Aye.
Sister? You blow things against dragons.
As bad as it sounds, perhaps we could bait him out with one of our own armed forces. If we send a sizable number of, creatures out in the open, a place that's important to him, maybe that'll prompt him to leave the place to defend his own territory and get involved in battle. We'd be risking the lives of a lot of people, but it would get him out in the open.
Well, I was going to say, doesn't he have an original horde somewhere that we can invade?
We have the Eternal Fire.
Mm-hmm.
That was fire resistance, no? That is still with Garad.
Isn't that cold resistance? And that's why they wanted it to survive the winter.
Yeah, no, you provided that augmentation.
But we told him there was he could hold on to it and he gains like the some kind of benefit, and then there was he can disperse it amongst people, and that gave which
so
he hadn't done yet.
That'll come under your war assets.
Yeah, I can see it under the Eternal Fire augmentation, but that gave fire resistance, didn't it?
What it means is that certain units of soldiers, when battle actually starts, will take half casualties when engaged with battle against fire-based creatures.
I mean, Red Dragon Fire Breath. They whoever would be carrying that would at least be more likely to survive, surely.
It sounds like something that would be more for old war than.
Well, that's the thing. If we get Goliath out of the way and we get rid of him now, there will be less fire in the main battle.
I think we got a lot to think about. Korgrin, I would heavily recommend that you try to get in contact with our mole again, see what else she can tell us. Because every bit of information we find from her will help direct our hands even better. Because she's right there. She's right next to each single one of them. our enemies. She knows. As far as I'm concerned, she is priority in order to get the upper hand over the king.
We're in agreement there. I take information when I can get it. It's just there is anti-divination magic there. It's just when there's a break in the flow, and I can see through it. But I'll certainly keep Scribe prepared. I usually do, in case the moment strikes.
Unfortunately, the king pretty much executed all the half elves that remained inside the castle. So, unfortunately, I don't have anyone who can manipulate that.
Could you, Jack, during prep? So there are side quests that we've got that would add resources.
Yeah.
Could you add, just for context, the 9 hells killing Azrael?
Yep.
And not Drogon Demote, Baron Zala, just to see if they're small or if they're big. To see if it would be dungeon crawl kind of, this
Baron Zala, I'll let you know, Baron Zala would be a dungeon crawl.
Okay.
The 9 hells, that would be a big fight, so that would require the entire party.
But it would be like a couple of sessions, maybe.
Probably a couple of sessions, I'd say.
Okay. Just because obviously these are going to impact, and these are all things that are going to change how we, we get spies if we do the demons.
In terms of how the campaign is structured out, like, you can spend as much time as you want going from faction to faction trying to get as many as possible. It's only when you guys think you are ready that the actual war will begin. So this is the prep stage of Risk, shall we say.
Yeah, I just know that you've got a calendar and things happen at certain dates, etc. So obviously we if we went, okay, by dwarves, we're gonna go get the elves from Baron Zala and we're gonna go get the demons from 9 hells, Philly Durson would probably be gone.
Dead dwarfs.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I mean, in all intents and purposes, where's my fucking, where is it? No, that's not it. So day 3 was from the get-go of the war, or the preparation phase. So day 3, that was when you had basically in between 3 days to locate the Duragar to make sure they didn't side with the king or whatever.
Yeah.
So that was like the most time sensitive thing.
Okay.
So especially as time clicks on, I basically check it all off, and then either as I said, they'll either side with the king, or the king will make sure they cannot side with you by any means.
What were you going to say, Elle?
Is there a point in the calendar, like far off down the line, where they're just going to go fuck it and just attack where we are? I'm expecting it to be like a day 50, for example. That's the day that the king goes, fuck it, I'm bored of this now, I'm going to go and kill them all.
Day 150 is the last event, shall we say.
Hagneth returns.
Okay, so there is an end. We can't sit here and do this forever.
Meteorite wipes out the world, making our entire campaign pointless. That's the last event.
Verity, have you heard from your quiet friends recently? You were quite friendly with them in the capital. Could they be someone that we get in touch with?
Your sisters are doing it for the silence.
The Silent Sisters. I think we did see them in the final battle as we were leaving, but they decided not to come.
No, they weren't there.
They weren't there. When did we last see them?
Just to remind you, they were selected to go and assassinate Titan Icebane in your stead.
So they're probably dead.
I haven't seen or heard from them.
They were very capable individuals. They might have survived.
No, they
You
were.
don't know.
They were.
But if they're inside the for example, I'm using this as an example. They've gone and they've done what they need to do with Icebane. They come back and they are now in the capital. Could they possibly be someone we could speak to and not necessarily get them on side, but have an ear to ask what is going on in the capital?
I wouldn't know how. Like,
If you
Korgrin would
use-
have to use sending.
If you use sending on them, could they reply?
Yeah, sending, you can reply.
Sending
Oh, you
their
mean
head.
in
Yes,
the
brothers and
silent?
sisters.
Right.
I know they can physically
Would-
speak
would
because they did.
Would they
Yeah.
apply?
I mean, would they be considered familiar enough for sending, Jack?
Yeah. You fought them.
Okay.
Let
We
them in
killed
battle.
them.
I mean, yeah, but
I mean, worst case, we can ask them to come meet us, and I could try talking to them, but
I feel that
Honestly,
you got
as a
along
DM,
fairly well with them.
As a DM, I love the Silent Sisters. They were the easiest things to roleplay.
I mean, it only seemed friendly because I was talking and they refused to talk back, and it's usually the rebuttals where people vent most of their hate.
They did speak.
Anyway.
One of them spoke to you in the end. They just shared like a couple of words with you. So they can speak. They just don't.
Mm.
okay. Well, I guess I'll try ascending on them at some point. That's fine.
And we know we're going to be in a main place where they can meet us.
Well, not even just that, but where do you just establishing where do you stand? Are you aligning yourselves with the king, or would you fight him if you were given the chance?
No.
Going from there, there's no point asking them to meet if they're like, no, we're firmly against you, you traitors, and blah blah
And
blah.
stab us.
True.
Exactly. So, worst
Stab 'em
case,
back.
we pop a spell slot. We also might learn if they were successful in assassinating Titan Icebane. We'll find out.
All good info.
I think we're going around in circles a little bit. I think we need to solidify what our next plan is. Now, I'm still training my forces. I'm still organizing my information in my spy network. Where are you guys going next? Are you going to try and focus on one of the territories? Are you going to continue to try and get some of these smaller factions on side?
Personally, I think getting the Druid clans and the Centaurs on side would be good. We can
makes sense.
get them and the Dwarves on side in one fell swoop and wipe out the Second Army, I think, the Royal Second Army. Or the Royal Fourth. That army situated outside Filigerzan, that clears up a bit of the corridor and makes our little mountain range a bit safer.
Should we have a copy of the map up on the screen just so I can see where Goliath is?
So
Top left.
my preferred order, if doable, would be to get the Centaur clans to help out with the Second Army, then go off and do dragon stuff. Why have I forgotten our dragon's name?
Goliath or Evoltodrix?
No,
or Reichstag?
Yeah, so the one, so Reichstag's mission to his father to get him on board. That would be a priority for me, just because dragons, I feel, would give us a massive edge, and then up to the Frontier Collective to start doing that shit. That would be my ideal ordering.
They're all kind of pretty close anyway, so if we went like Druids, Centaurs, then wipe out the Royal Second Army outside Filigerzan, and then went onto the Frontier and Goliath.
Just as a thought,
Oh.
like, it's going to take some days worth of flying to get to Evoltodrax anyway. So could one group go over there, and the other one goes to do the Centaur and possibly the Druids if they have time?
Yeah.
I mean, as long as the split party's okay. Like, obviously it did have some advantages, but then if we get there twice as fast, then maybe worth it. It just depends on whether we're likely to need,
And
Just as if everyone stands far away from Verity every time she casts any magic at all, we'll all be fine.
or we could rethink both groups as well. We could maybe split differently.
Yeah. Verity is definitely not going with those two.
Arri.
Well, Verity probably would go with her sister. I'll happily go wherever. I'm not fussed.
I'm just thinking. Rhinestag's dad? Is that who we're going to get?
Yes.
Yeah.
Vortex.
Would he be able to get out Goliath?
No.
I think Goliath would leave the capital.
No, Reichstag said his father was something like the Peacemaker or something like that. Vortex hates combat.
The Peace Scriber.
Peace Scriber. Close. In truth, I don't actually know how we're going to get Vortex on side, because this whole thing is about bloody conflict, and it's all going to be horrific and violent and awful. So it's going to be
I think that if his son is on our side, I think that might go a long way.
And I think a little bit of empathy is probably going to go a long way,
Yes.
And I think I am probably the best person to go and do that.
I can be persuasive when I have to, and although I can respect his pacifist ways, there comes a time when doing nothing is actually just allowing evil to win. And
remember
pretty shit.
The last time you said you'd respect people's cultures, and you said that keeping a dragon to fuel their farms was very inhumane, and you'd nearly got into a fight?
Did I make any effort to try and release that dragon myself?
No, just pointing it out.
Yes.
No,
well, that's all I did to them. I respected their opinion. It was just fucking stupid.
All right. Well,
anyway, back to the task in hand. I think.
Sorry, I'm interrupting you. You go right ahead.
If we can try and get the centaurs and the druids on side, and then we go and try and have a look at the frontier and see what's going on there, then Goliath's pretty fucked in his little corner. Like, he is completely surrounded by us, and I think the slightest movement on his land is going to be enough to try and draw him out, because a massive, huge semicircle that's all around him.
And I'd really like for my dad to not die. We don't need to deal with everything in Vorod. I don't know if one would lead to the other. If we could just go in and go out, that would be fine. If we could get who we need out of there, that would be fine. But I'd really, really, really like to not draw that out any longer. He's not a fighter. He's not a paladin. He's not a cleric. He's a normal man. He's probably already dead, but I'd like to not think so.
I'm happy to help out with some sort of infiltration thing. I don't think we're going to raise an army quick enough to take it by force over in that area. So if we want to go there ourselves, we're just going to have to try and sneak in and out, I think.
Which is fine.
Var's in a precarious situation, considering the location of the enemies. I mean, they got the Hordes and the Trusair forces very close by, and it's also where the De Blanc and the Valenstar companies are currently parking their heels. I'm not going to even say that it's going to be very dangerous for you to go there, but if you do go there, if you can get the Var Prams inside, that would put that entire area into disruption. Like, right now, they've got free reign of the entire area. They can march where they want to go. They can prepare what they want to prepare without any kind of resistance whatsoever. It doesn't even have to be a real conflict, but even if skirmishes and, pocket resistances start propping up, preventing their easy travel across the roads, if disruption can be brought to the Prime Land, then that's going to go a long way in making sure that our enemy can't prepare correctly.
How about if the whole party goes to Vorod and tries to just to scout it out, see what we can do, blah blah. But then from there we could each. So one party could just travel by foot up to the druids and the centaurs, and the other one could teleport straight back here and get the lift with. Right. So what is wrong with me tonight? It's been a long day. I'm so sorry. We get lift with Reichstag and go do the dragon side. And then I don't think that would cost us much time if we all went straight to Varod and then split up from there rather than.
The problem is we're going to need the centaurs on the side to try and help Philly Durzan.
Yes, which is So we're all in agreement right now. We want to go to the Centaur clans and the Druid clans. Yes?
Yes.
So we're doing those first. That's fine. I'm just saying I don't want to deal with Goliath and the Free Frontier Collective and leave my father to die in a prison somewhere. I'm fine with the Centaur clans, fine with the Druid clans. Loic, have you got any scouts nearby the Prime Lands right now, or could you send some there quickly?
I've got a network out there at the moment, but it's difficult for them to move around.
Could you try and get some updated information from them without putting them at risk?
Do I confirm the Pride Lands or the Prime Lands?
Prime Lands.
So that'll be that's the Pride Lands for Forward and the Prime Lands for Jarasukai.
Oh, my bad. Pride Lands. Pride Lands, then.
Okay. Is there anything specific that you're looking for?
Any changes in military? Just if we go there, can we check it out ourselves? If we go there, would we be attacked as soon as we walk through the gates? Just that kind of.
I can tell you right now that one of the posters have appeared of your faces all over Varad, but whether or not the people are paying attention to that, I don't know. But
okay,
I'll find out for you, and I'll let you know about tomorrow. Okay?
I pop a hat of disguise on. Poof.
Then it sounds like we're in agreement with the Druid clans and Centaur clans. We'll need to give them time anyway to muster and move to at least the Royal Second Army, or at least position themselves near. And then I can send word to the Grand Vizier that we'll be there with the Druids and the Centaurs, and we can deal with the Royal Second Army together. How does that sound?
Sounds like a plan to me. Hopefully they wouldn't leave the dwarves hanging, and then with any luck after that, we can see if we can get your dad. And cause disruption in Varod. Because that will just make our job a bit easier.
So even though they're next to each other, we could split up and one party does the Druids, one does the Centaurs, straight down to the Second Army together, and then to Varod from there.
That's the thing, because it would make more sense to go to the Druids first, so that we could come down to the Centaurs with them, unless they need to uproot or something like that. But yeah, they would need time to muster. Because what would you say, Jack, is the kind of time of travel for there to there, or something like that?
Each square represents roughly 1 day of travel.
Okay, so best part of a week. Or a week.
So, meeting with people we can utilize, assets within Parfadel tomorrow, see what we can delegate to them, or what they can learn. Then we're going to Druid clans, then Centaur clans, because the Druid clans are going to march anyway. Hopefully, we're kind of assuming that we're going to get them on side.
And that they haven't been destroyed yet.
Also true. They are relatively close to the hordes. But it should be easy because we've got the life tree on side, and, generally we're trying to restore the world rather than destroy it.
The life tree hates me.
Did it?
Wrong tree.
Different tree. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, sorry.
Just trees in general hate me.
Yeah. Couple of sentient trees in this game.
Yeah.
It's the magical tree with a dead gnome inside it. It's fine.
Different.
Just keep in mind that even though we are, I would consider ourselves allies with, the ever awesome hordes, it might be best to pop around there just to make sure that we're definitely going to be working together, and that they're ready.
Certainly.
Just a question about strategics. Now, if the hordes are using pits to convert people, and we've made the assumption that it is the people that they've captured in Vorod, if we capture Vorod and try and cause some upheaval, will that affect the numbers of the horde?
It means that it will stop growing.
Okay. It's something at least.
I am so looking forward to fighting the Horde, just putting that out there.
The middle left, just this section in general, is just a festering wound, I think. And the longer it goes on, the worse it gets.
Based on the book, like, the War of Argoneth, like, that's kind of just sounds exactly what happened, but yeah.
Yeah, the heaviest fighting took place in this area here, where the border of the Prime Lands and the frontier basically is. As a history lesson, that is where Oathsworn Balasar and the armies of Windwood held out for the better part of nearly a year, surviving both assaults from two demonic generals operating from both the frontier and the recently captured Vorod.
I'd also like to remind people, if the Goblinoid Alliance proposal is still in place, if we get Vorod, we get the Goblinoid Alliance as well.
Yeah.
If that's still in place, which I assume it is, we've not heard anything else, that is an assumption.
From memory, there was no time restriction on that one.
Nope.
However, I'm thinking that, like, if we can speak to the heads of the schools tomorrow, then we can see what's going on around the area. We can see if, I don't know if Loic's got anyone in the area that could pop in and just say hi, or if it's going to be a magical thing that was going to have to pop in as a scry.
To the Goblinoid Alliance.
I haven't got any spies out in that area, so ascending might be best.
Fair enough.
Well, I think that we've got ourselves a solid plan. I think we can work on that. It'll be good. It'll be hard work, but we can do it. I think tonight we should all get some good solid rest, and then tomorrow we go speak to people we need to speak with. That does remind me, actually. Otti, Grud was hoping that you'd pop round where the orcs are currently setting up tent. I was hoping that you'd share a drink with them and they can regale you some more of their clan stories. He said that you're a bit of a wet orc, but he'd sort that out.
A wet orc?
I think it means like wet behind the ears and stuff, like novice.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I'll pop and have a word with him.
Korgrin, I've got 17 formal requests for a duel with you between yourself and Sane.
Put them on the calendar. I'll ignore every single one of them.
Are we inviting Sane tomorrow?
We're going to have to. Aye.
Okay. Who's going to be the best person to go and speak to him first?
Korgrin.
No, that's not a good idea. But I'm very worried about him blowing up the house.
Are we going to have like leaders from each of the groups that we've brought here coming to this meeting?
Might be worthwhile instead of just leaving it to. We can see what else everyone else knows.
Our whole thing is that we want people to feel heard and included.
Yeah. No,
so
you're
it might be a little bit chaotic.
Democracy
but...
for the people, by the people.
Yeah.
Well, we'll come to that tomorrow, I think. Just one last thing. I got a message here from a gay tarn. He's hoping that somebody go visit him when the moon was up.
I can do that if you like. Nobody else really.
No, I really don't want to do.
It doesn't bother me.
He really does not like me. He gives me the heebie-jeebies. I think he wants to do weird things to my body, and I don't like it.
I think he wants to do weird things to everybody.
I mean, I've had a couple of conversations with him. He's only got nice things to say about you, Aldi.
Yes, probably about my skin.
Well, he did go on quite long about your tusks.
Excellent bone density, and good load-bearing shoulders.
Can we stop this now, please?
Yes.
Yes, we can see how our undead dragon is.
Dental hygiene.
Well, I want us all to praise praise the Watcher for another glorious war room meeting, of which, of course, myself being the interim watcher, thanks me.
This whole self-glorification thing is kind of...
Yeah.
You're going to be in for a real surprise when Zaphos turns back up.
Just out of interest, does Reichstag know that we're building an undead dragon? And if he doesn't, should we maybe speak to him to find out how the dragons might feel about it? If we're trying to get all the dragons on side, I don't want them to suddenly see this undead dragon. And...
I haven't mentioned it to him.
Otti is very friendly with Reichstag. I feel like she'd probably. You do this for me, Otti. Or I do this for you, Otti. You do that for me.
Yeah.
Can someone remind me which dragon this was? Because this wasn't
Shrike.
Shrike.
White dragon.
From the ice caves.
Frigid Calamity.
Aurora's fuck buddy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Stepdaddy.
What are you doing, Stepdragon?
Isn't Aurora Reichstag's? No.
No, that's
Blitzwing is Reichstag's partner.
Yeah.
No.
Blitzwing.
I thought Aurora was Reichstag's mum or grandma or something.
No, that's Vortidrex. This is grandfather. Aurora is pretty much the mother of all the white dragons you fought in the campaign.
It's still kind of like...
Except
She's like the crazy aunt you have. I guess. She does whiskey, but it comes in a stein with a straw.
Seems perfectly reasonable to me.
There we go, Exhibit A. Except, Rennas so rich as an uncle.
Well, I hereby count this meeting adjourned. I'm going to go get some rest. And with that, Loic leaves the war room. I believe you all funnel out as well.
When did Catan want to see us?
Yeah.
Tonight?
At night, yeah.
Great.
I'll go with you, Korgrin.
Otti,
you did say when the moon, then.
Brad's invitation.
I will, but I'll probably walk with... If Korgrin's going towards Catan, I'll probably walk towards Catan, then down this way and outside on the...
Well, do you want to see Reichstag and then go see Catan, or do it that way?
I'm going to wait for you to see Catan first and see what the outcome. If he's going to say it's ready tonight, I'm going to, you can let me know.
Okay.
But if it's not, then if he's got a few days, that kind of gives me a few days to pre-warn, to pre-think about what I'm going to say.
If he's going to unleash a dragon unto the night sky, I'll send Rennas over. He's fast.
Yeah, please do.
Okay.
All right. So can I confirm who is
Do we all
everybody
want
going
to
to go
be
see?
psychically linked while we do this?
Sure.
No,
Yes.
because I plan to be very drunk.
All right. So Otti is not going to go see Catan. Is anybody else not going to go see Catan?
I want to be able to go and do my own thing in a bit.
Right,
I was considering either the thing where we said that our list a bit of help, kind of. I was considering sending Russ to kind of try and befriend her, basically, as a kind of new friendly face.
Oh, if Ross
Arwis.
Yeah. So if Ross is going to Arwis, then I'll go and introduce Ross to Arwis, just so that she knows that he's not some random person coming to harass her.
Re-enslave her.
Yeah, please don't re-enslave her.
No,
I don't need to tell you that, but just please don't enslave her.
Funny thing, I just needed a slave. I was thinking. No.
Right.
If you've got any magic to teach her, feel free to teach us some magic.
A magic tincture? What? No, sorry. Misheard that.
Korgrin, Arri, and Rennas will go see Catan. Otti will walk with them, but then make her way down towards Grad. And Russ will go and see Arwis, just make a connection with her. And Verity is going to go off and do her own thing. Is that correct? Alright.
Try not to puddle anyone.
Okay, so the majority of the party heads over to the north west side of Parthadedum, towards one of the older buildings, which has been cleared away of. It's odd. The other buildings, after you cross that threshold, they were specklessly clean. Like a little unused, it fell into disuse, but they didn't have any moss or vines growing over them. They were just They were very clean. This one looks intentionally decrepit. Like someone's been working and making sure this particular building looks bad. The outside of the building is draped with raggedy ass red, like, capes and banners and the like. There are you swear to be bone enchantments hanging around the door. The door itself looks like it's got dried blood painted onto it, like splashed out. It's a creepy ass house.
Creepy ass guy.
I bet the knocker is literally a bony fist that's just on a ring, and it's just thunk, thunk, thunk.
No, the knocker is normal.
Oh, okay.
But as you use it, it doesn't make a donk, donk noise. It literally makes a scratch sound of somebody screaming, "Ah! Ah!"
He's turned that person into a door!
I shouldn't be surprised. I'm pretty sure he killed the first person that we walked into the room with him. Do you remember? He had a little slave thingy and he just stabbed it.
Yes, he did.
The door swings open.
Why does this look like the house that would have the best cupcakes around Samhain? Like, they would have, like... Look at the decorations. They'd clearly love it. It's just Catan, so it's going to be creepy. And I'm not going to eat anything.
It's bone dust, not sprinkles.
I wonder if that would make it taste better. Anyway.
You make your way inside.
Can I grab Korgrin's wrist before he goes inside?
Yep.
You're quite good with gods and things like that. Have you ever heard of someone called Craximus, something like that?
Let me check. Would that be religion?
Check. It would be a religion check, yeah.
I've purposely written it down incorrectly, just on a note somewhere.
It's Argoneth's pseudonym.
I know what a 19 would know.
Craxamius is a name that few people know, and fewer people know the nature of. With a small burst of inspiration from the armor, you know that Craxamius is a dealer. He is a deal maker. He is a bargainer, a tradesperson. He trades in souls. Souls that are saved and collected for him via his acolytes, or various deals he makes with individuals. He is known to have influences on deities themselves. Should he get his hands on a particularly juicy soul that a certain deity would want, that deity would pay for the nose, or whatever Craxamius may desire, in order to have that soul become a part of that deity's afterlife. Craxamius himself is made a fortune of a plethora of treasures, not limited to money or power, but things beyond the scope of comprehension. By dealing with deities of all levels of the pantheons, from the most just down to the most destructive evils. And when the deities have felt short, he has found purchasers for souls in other areas of the multiverse as well, which includes the 9 layers of hells, even sometimes the abyss.
I relay that to Otti.
All of that?
Every single bitten word that left Jack's mouth, I just puppeted him and projected my voice to come out of his body. I'm just that good. Just add, kind of a little bit of Korgrin flair on it, if you want.
Right.
Do with that information what you will. Kind of weird to fill me in later.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna go drink. I'll see you later.
Best of luck.
Okay.
Thank you.
See ya.
Bye.
Okay.
Strange.
So Otti walks off. And you guys
Slams
walk
open the
inside.
door. Dracula, where's my fucking dragon?
Before you is a wide open area with a small bed that looks barely been used, to be honest, if at all. A few empty potion cauldrons, random components for strange spells scattered around, and there is a set of stairways from an open trapdoor that goes down.
Down we go.
Okay.
Guess so.
So you make your way down. The echoes of the footsteps you make bounce forth from these stone walls. The way is lit by greenish flames on torches on the wall. You go forward until eventually, after about 15-20 feet or so, just like checking to make sure, there is a singular door in front of you with the words spelt out in dried blood: Gatan's Fungeon.
Now, do you think it means fungus dungeon or like fun dungeon?
I hate that you said that because I was about to. Because I read a comic the other day about a fungeon and it was a fungus dungeon and I'm devastated.
Is it the sword comic by any chance?
It is, yeah.
Nerds.
Yeah. Just like, as a side thing, I am getting a turnip.
I don't know what that means and I don't want to know.
It means I'm going to be running around going quest! I am so excited.
If we walk in and there's chains and whips on the wall, I'm walking straight back out.
It's sane in there. Korgrin, fight me! Fuck it, I'll go in first. If there's undead, banish. Fuck off.
Open the door. Opening the door, there is a small square room that overlooks a large sort of cavern balcony.
Creepy.
The cavern is pitch black. You cannot see anything beyond that. But the square room, there is a little desk with a plethora of devices on top of it, each one of them more intermittent than the last in terms of torture. There are various chains attached to the wall. There appears to be a sarcophagus on another side of the wall. And you can see Gatan in there, who is currently bending over a small little draconic creature. No bigger, maybe it's a little bit bigger than the size of a pseudo-dragon, but it is not a pseudo-dragon. It honestly looks like an actual dragon. Yeah. Here's the door open and he straightens himself up. Oh. Hi.
Gitaran, how are you?
Oh, I'm really good. You?
Arri was a puddle, but I think we're okay.
It was.
A puddle?
Is the pseudo dragon chained up?
No.
No, I'm gonna call it over in Draconic because it's fucking cute looking.
It moves, and Gatan just sort of zaps his fingers, and you can see electrical bombs like around its limbs and its neck.
No moving for you. You need to rest.
And you can lose down. He starts stroking it as it sort of writhes in agony a little.
Yes, rest. You've got a big day coming up soon.
You know what rest means.
Mustn't move. The meat must remain tender.
What are your plans with the dragon?
It's right, it's fine.
Well, I'm only doing what you asked me to.
It is that is Shrike, right?
This is... Well, if I could say anything, this is Shrike's little baby. Had to recreate a little bit of dragon essence. Gotta wait for him to grow up a little bit before I can do what I need to do. But, as far as layman's terms go, this little guy here is a sacrificial lamb. So don't get attached to it. I'll be needing its draconic blood soon enough.
You have to kill it to get its blood?
I've got to get it at just the right age. Lifeblood from a youthful little dragon. Making sure that the meat is nice and tender, to make sure that the blood is congealed just enough, so I can apply it to my piece de la resistance. Come have a look.
And he walks over to the balcony that's overstepping looks over the darkened cavern. And he points a bony finger with you can see a couple of spiders hanging from like single string webs from his hand out towards the darkness.
Can you see it? Just out there.
What am I looking at?
Do you walk over to the balcony?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, going over to the balcony and staring out, you see a few mounds, bits of dirt, perhaps, rock. And then your eyes adjust to the darkness as you see chains, big chains, attached across 4 limbs, and a 5th one across a long neck. You see the body of Shrike there, missing pretty much all of its scales, its muscles, its tendons exposed and somewhat removed. You pretty much see its bone structure.
He's nearly ready. He's got a few more things I need to do, but he'll be ready when you need him to.
And at that point, the whole thing shudders. Like the dragon itself seems to struggle against the chains. And Catan just goes, no, bad. And he fires off a couple of spells at it, which seems to blast against its shell.
No, not ready yet. You stay nice and still.
You don't appear to have a lot of control over these things when you have to keep chaining them up, or is that just purely for your weird pleasure that you keep everything chained up?
Well, that's for my safety and all of yours. If that thing got out of here right now, I'm very certain it'd kill pretty much anything it could see before it itself would destroy itself. That little guy down there, he doesn't need to be changed. He just needs to make sure he doesn't move around. I'm not that cruel. You can, go to the corner if he needs to, but no sudden, fast movements. Because, I built him for the scales and the meat I took from him. Of course, I applied a little bit of my own little magic in there to make sure he came back. For all intents and purposes,
of course you did.
But, yeah, well, I'm glad you turned out. I just wanted you to check in on your progress to let you know that your little investment is coming along as scheduled.
But just looking at the little dragon, is that also like a little white dragon that he's just made out of the scales of? He's conjured.
No, this one actually has multiple scales. This has got like little red, little white, little blue scales on it.
Why do you need the different colours, or is that just what you've managed to scrounge up?
It's pretty much a patch me job. I had a few scales about.
So that's why you need them to be mostly intact, so you can make this little sacrificial lamb.
Pretty much.
Right.
If it was anything less than that, it'd just take a little longer to grow another set of limbs.
Any gestures towards the little baby dragon?
Right. So what can that thing do? Pointing at the shrike.
Well, as of right now, it can fly around and tear everything apart. I've stifled its breath weapon, but if it got free, I'm fairly certain it'd be able to figure out how to use it. I'm also putting a little spin on it. The worst thing I want to make sure that your investment would last a little while. So, I am doing something else as well. I'm making sure your investment is proper, long term.
It doesn't need to be long term, it just needs to last the war.
Well, that's the thing. I'm fairly certain it's quite fragile. Bones and all that. But what if it fell and then got back up again after a few days? Would you like that?
And how often would it do that?
As long as you need it to fight for you.
It's something that we can stop then. It's not going to be a perpetual bone dragon.
Oh yeah. So long as you have what it needs to come back to life with, if you want to call it life. Have you ever heard of something called a phylactery?
Yes.
Well, I'm cooking one up for that special little sausage out there. So if it dies, it'll just respawn right around the phylactery in a body of my choosing, and it'll grow into what you see there after a few days, and it'll be good to go again. And that can happen again, and again, and again.
I thought phylacteries needed souls.
Oh. Yeah, you don't worry. It does, but I took care of that, don't worry.
Insight.
Go right ahead.
A little collection of souls that he has stashed away somewhere.
Yeah. I wanna know what kind of soul he's chucking into it.
He certainly had a soul from somewhere. You get the feeling he's telling the truth from that regard.
What kind of soul are you stuffing into a dragon's body?
Oh.
It can't be Shrike's. He was too long dead.
No. It weren't Shrike's. Matter of fact, it's an old friend of yours and mine. You so
No, surely not.
Oh,
Is it the priest?
Yeah.
Slumber priest Darius.
His follower that then became a...
Yep.
I'd like to thank you very much as well for giving me the opportunity to suck his soul into something. Yeah.
That's why the first one was 3. How do we know he's not immediately going to betray us?
Oh, my special little enchantments on there. I control the soul. For all intents and purposes, I am its deity. And I can snap it out of existence if I want to. Or at least send it on to somewhere else. Actually, I've got a good deal for it already, should I want to. Fella, Federer lives out in the Shadow Realms, so he'll pay a mighty fine fee for Darius' soul. I was like, I'll consider it when I'm done with it.
Thoughts, you two?
Yeah, not ideal, but it is what it is.
It's a weapon.
It is a weapon.
It's a weapon you ordered.
Arri, what were
Is
you
there an
going to say?
ETA? Looks like.
Oh. When this little baby is ready. Could take a few more weeks maybe, but it's well on the way.
Arri, I felt like you had something to say unless I'm mistaken.
That's not to say it here.
Well, if that concludes business then, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you,
Thank you
Gatan.
very much. Thank you very much. I appreciate you coming to me in the middle of the night. I hate having meetings during the day. I get so very tired.
You're not a vampire, are you?
Oh, no.
Good. Just a weirdo. That's fine, I can deal with that.
I considered it for a little bit, but nah.
We go.
Right.
I don't suppose you've seen a halfling, like, other than myself around, have you?
I've seen a few, I think, maybe.
Definitely halflings or children?
I think there are maybe a halfling, yeah.
Recently?
Relatively recently, yeah.
No, relatively recently.
Last week or so.
If you tried really hard, could you be Vega?
What?
Could you be more vague with your answers if you tried really, really hard?
Probably.
Just curious.
No, I don't know. I don't pay attention to things. I'm busy. There was a guy that came down here and he was asking me a couple of questions. And I was like, well, I'm busy. Fuck off. And here he went.
Ooh.
Was he a short halfling guy?
Yeah, it was a black hair
half-elf?
halfling. There's a halfling, I think, black hair fella. Came down and was asking me where Ophelia was.
That ring, that's the guy, isn't it, that we want? He had black hair. So.
Yeah. I don't think there's any other halflings here. I don't think we've seen any.
Okay. Did you tell him where Ophelia was?
Yeah.
Okay. You've actually been more helpful than we anticipated. Thank you, Gatan, genuinely.
That's just what the king used to say. No one wants to talk to Gatan until Gatan has got something he can do for you. Then everyone wants to talk to him.
Anybody else just tried to talk to you? That's not one of our 6. 7, I guess, including the half-elf.
No. I've noticed that the trees that they shy away from me a little bit whenever I ventured outside for food or whatnot.
I think most normal life shies away from you, Gatan. But it's been a pleasure, as always. Yeah. I'm gonna go enjoy the night sky.
Oh, you do that. I'm gonna get back to work. Aren't we, little precious? Aren't we?
Aww. Rennas feels
sad. No, Arri. Remember, sacrificial lamb.
That's so fucking dark. I love it.
Did you miss playing guitar, Jack?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well then, tatty bye.
I'm really looking forward to the other parties meeting him. I really, really am. Just because I'm curious what their reaction's going to be, because ours was a bit shocked. Yeah.
Okay, so you leave the party, or you leave Catan and head back out into Parfidelum. Otti goes and enjoys some drinks with Grad and the orcs. Russ spends a little bit of time getting to know Arwis. Verity, you go off and do your own thing. Just give me a brief rundown of what it is you were trying to do.
I wanted to go somewhere private and commune with Steve.
Okay. So you cast Commune with Steve, and your connection with him inside the dome is hazy. You can talk to him, but you get the feeling he won't be able to talk to you. So you can ask him some questions. Would I be able to...
Well, I need definite answers. Can I move it to outside the dome?
Yeah, you can head outside the dome. Yeah. So you head outside the dome. You sit down, and you cast Commune. You are connected with Steve, and you feel his warm presence washing over your body, and he is happy to hear from you again. It's been a while since he's heard from you.
Hey, Steve. What's up? So, last time I spoke to you, you seemed pretty down, and I was just wondering if, everything okay? Is everything all good there, mate?
You have a rush of regret and fear for inevitable conflict go through your mind and your feelings, and you interpret this as the answer no.
What's wrong?
A short phrase goes through your mind that says, "A lot of people are about to die. I don't feel good about that."
Okay, so I've only got one question left. Let's talk a little bit first. We're trying to stop as many people as we can from dying. And, I'm trying my best. I mean, I know I threatened to blow up a whole camp earlier, but, if they had gone to the king's side, they would have been a threat, and, it'd have to take down one of their sources before we could come to get rid of one of ours, type of deal. And, the whole situation was just really frustrating. It's really frustrating when there's a magic user who's more magic than you, and I have very bad inferiority complex, I guess. Anyway. Don't turn away, Korgrin.
I'll run away. Bye, guys.
And so I was just wondering, is there any ways that I could get to you to help us? Like, if you had friends that I could appeal to? I was thinking mostly, as unicorns are really good at healing, so, like, if you could be, like, a first response team to healing people and preventing as many deaths as possible would be great.
Various images flash in your minds. There is a temple high in the mountains. Various depictions of statues of gods. You see a man in white robes in the middle of a poppy field, praying and holding what appears to be a strange metallic rod item. You see underground in a temple there is another one of those strange metallic rod items, and then you see yourself in your bag where a book glows, and you interpret its answers as yes.
Wait.
And with that,
No. Do I need to find these people? What does that all mean? What?
Welcome to Commune.
The commune comes to an end, and the spell fades, and your eyes come to focus. And then you feel a slight little sting on the back of your neck. Can you make a Constitution saving throw, please?
God damn it. Don't tell me the answer straight away. I might use luck. I'm going to use luck to reroll that.
Okay.
For fuck's sake.
You take 4 points of piercing damage, and you are paralyzed.
Oh no.
Your body immediately falls down to the floor. And you just can't move. You can still see. And you look around with your eyes desperately, and you see a pair of goat-like hoofs come towards you. Your body is pushed over onto your back, and you see Wanlon standing over you.
Didn't we do the little mind link thing for everyone but Otti?
Wanlon looks down at you with a small little blow dart. He waves his hands, and the illusion on him fades, and he turns into a black-haired halfling. He picks you up and carries you over the shoulder and starts walking away.
Didn't we do the mind?
We didn't.
Nope.
Verity mentioned it, but we never did it.
I thought we did it for everyone but Otti. Okay, well that sucks.
Oh, wait. I have to do my wild magic search.
Please blow him up. Blow him the fuck up.
Roll a D100 for me.
He goes to pick up Verity when suddenly a Garistra appears in front of him and he fucking legs it. Unfortunately, that would leave a paralysed.
No, I've remembered Garistra is my year of birth, so it's not that.
So as he's walking along, you disappear from his shoulder, and he's like, "What? Huh?" And you just see purple clouds all around you for about 6 seconds before reappearing on his shoulder. What? And he continues on his way. You were transported to the astral plane and back for 6 seconds for a round. And then you appeared in the place that you were previously.
Oh. Well.
Right, well, we will end the session there, guys.